This is Jackie Jones from In Your Head.
And Bill Apter, and we'll see you at the matches.
All right, this is the internet icon, Handsome Jackie Jones, and I'm here with Arn Anderson, one of my favorite, all-time favorites, at the New England Pro Wrestling Fan Fest. Very cool to talk to you.
Did you get that hat from one of my earliest pictures or something? I used to wear hats.
I know you did. It is very inspiring. I think.
Does it piss people off that you as bad as it did me?
Yeah, people don't like the fedora.
No, they don't. The hats don't get over with the shit, do they?
No, I kind of like that though. I'm sure you did too.
That's why I did it?
Right, yeah.
People don't get it. My wife used to go, she wasn't my wife at the time, but she goes, why are you wearing that stupid ass hat? It's making you mad. How many tickets you going to sell?
Right, yeah. And is that hard to explain, not just your wife, but other people, like the idea of...
after they hear it, they go, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't actually put that on and went, yeah, that looks good.
Right. Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, no, I thought it looked fantastic.
Okay. Well, hey, we can agree to disagree, right?
Exactly.
It's a wrestling business, right?
That's very true.
Okay.
So this is New England. You wrestled, a lot in the Carolinas, and then also you wrestled in New England. What was the differences in the areas? Or are there?
I've wrestled everywhere.
Yeah.
More so down south, East Coast, from Philadelphia down.
Mm-hmm.
But wrestling fans are pretty much the same all over. Some are harder than others. The New York area are more demanding. They don't see something they like, they just don't say anything. Down south, they're a little more agreeable as long as the product is good. It's on us as performers to elicit a response. If we're not doing the right things, then we need to change it up and do something else.
Yeah. Now, someone who's also worked as an agent for a long time, when you see young people, and obviously the wrestling business evolves to a certain degree, but you also want to. So how do you work with that? How do you work with knowing that things evolve, so things have to change, but also keeping foundation for wrestling?
It's a good question, and sometimes it's a hard blend. The hardest thing to do is if you got a racehorse, you got a thoroughbred, let them run. The problem is if you started out with 8 minutes and you got these two young thoroughbreds with a plan, suddenly you're down because the match before yours ran over, you're down to 5 minutes. It's real hard for a lot of these young guys to adjust because they don't have enough experience. You know what I mean? They're put on that main roster sometimes too soon, and they're not able to adjust and do their storytelling. You take 3 minutes out of a match, that's a lot today. Back in the day, we had 20, 25 minutes every time we went through the curtain.
Yeah.
And just to be perfectly honest with you, it's a lot easier to get your story told if you have more time.
Yeah. So AEW, you're working for AEW. What was the last show like, and what are you looking forward to the future?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're in the wrestling business now and you're not excited about what's going on, it's fresh, it's new. I happen to be in the green room with some of their talent the day before the show with doing my StarCast stuff.
Yeah.
And, man, it felt good to see that buzz and see people excited and see guys talking and sitting on the edge of their seats.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that in a long, long time. And they single-handedly have refurbished the feeling, I think, of fans and talent and everybody that's involved in the business, guys like you and I.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think it's done something that no one else has been able to do, to really capture the social media to mean something, as opposed to just we have a bunch of people following us on Twitter or whatever. Because without TV, it's done really, sold out arenas. It's done very well on pay-per-view. And now it's going to TV.
Yeah, and something that just popped into my head that on none of these interviews have I taken the time to do, and that's pretty stupid out of me, but the ones that have made this all possible, Khan family. No one has given them a pat on the back because the gentleman funding this is very successful in life. He has put some competitive, strong numbers out there on hiring his talent, hiring his staff. Suddenly, they're to be taken serious, very serious. It's never happened before. There's been rumblings here, and there are a lot of great companies. You know, I think ROH is a solid company. There's solid independent companies around that are stable, but they've not been in a position to compete with WWE. Now they have competition. As long as AEW doesn't try to compete and do anything similar to what they do. Be their own product, be fresh, do what they want to do, take their time and build their stars. And they'll be fine.
At the show, how when you're watching the back and you saw the Dustin Cody Rhodes match, because me as a fan, I thought it was one of the best matches I've seen in modern time.
You know why? The story was great.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that misses.
So much emotion.
Yeah, when you don't have enough time to have a match, much less tell a story, that's what happens. Fans follow the story. You know, and if you don't have time to tell the story, it's great to go out there and take spectacular bumps that nobody in the crowd can do. I sit there and go, wow, that was awesome. Now what? You know, you gotta neuter that a little bit and put it within the storytelling, which I think these guys are going to learn in time.
Yeah. Now, one thing too about a guy's here is Paul Roma. I personally think it's a bad rap. I actually really liked your tag team with Paul Roma. Do you have any thoughts on your team with Paul Roma?
No, that's been hyped more than anything. When Paul and I were partners, we busted our ass every night to have the best match possible. We were miscast. Plus, Paul was put in that position on the heels of everyone expecting Tully Blanchard, which had a huge history with he and I, obviously. So anything would have been a step down as far as in people's minds. So no, Paul and I get along great. Everything's fine. It was what it was. He went on to have a lot of success with Paul Orndorff as partners. More power to him.
One thing, you and Tully, when you were the Brain Busters, where did this stuff pile driver come from? Was that something people did before? Or?
No, it's just something we came up with for the time.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
We were always evolving.
Yeah.
You know, that was the reason we stayed fresh. We could wrestle. I just saw one of the sheep herders in here, right?
Yeah, Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers, yeah. We could wrestle them one night. We could wrestle Demolition the next night and give you an equally entertaining match. So.
Yeah. When you bring it back to the fedora, as a kid, I always liked people like that were
Smart
exactly.
asses.
So I was a big fan of yours and Tully, and probably not a lot of kids like one of their favorite wrestlers, Tully Blanchard or Ron Anderson, but those are the guys I really like.
Tully Blanchard, stick of the devil.
Yeah.
Well, we always tried to please, and like I said, the reason we were so successful, every night we went through the curtain, we tried to outdo everybody else on the card. Yeah. And the benefactors were the fans, and I think they remember it, and now they look back on it and go, you're right, man, you guys busted your ass for us. We owed it to you. You bought a ticket, we're going to give you your money's worth.
I gotta say, you I don't know if you invented them, but you innovated a lot of my favorite moves at the time. The spine buster, the gourd buster.
That's my move. Gourd buster, my move. I stole the DDT from Jay.
Yeah, but you did a great one though. There's a lot of pop to it.
And a lot of snap.
Yeah.
Some say it was better than Jay's.
Right.
I do.
I don't want to say which one's better. Maybe I'll run into Jake one of these days, but
hey, you got to believe your own. You got to believe your own press, right?
Right. I think just as a move, I like yours better.
I do too.
But the idea that he invented it, it's hard to say one's better.
Oh no, he invented it.
But just as the straight up
move,
move,
I stole it and just modified it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think they're waiting on me to go to work.
I do too, so I had a great time, though. I appreciate it.
Nice talking with you.
You as well.
This is Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and you are watching In Your Head Radio.
All right, now I'm here with Romeo Rosselli here at New England Fan Fest. It's really cool. And you were just inducted in the Hall of Fame last night.
I was inducted into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2019.
Very cool. So what was that moment? What was the moment like when you heard that you'd be inducted in the Hall of Fame?
It made me recall basically my whole career, because I started in New England in 1999, and now literally 20 years later, I'm being inducted into the New England Wrestling Hall of Fame, and it really just made me recall everything from the beginning. And then when I started to kind of put a speech together, I just went through, oh wow, I forgot about this guy, oh yeah, and then I did this, and then I met this guy, and then I worked for this promotion, and it was really fun going down memory lane.
Yeah. Something you talked about the Hall of Fame I didn't know about was you worked for WWE before you were an indie wrestler, before you worked as a wrestler.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
So I graduated college. I wanted to wrestle for WWE. I wanted to work for WWE. So what's the next closest thing? Work in Titan Towers.
Yeah.
So I put in a resume to work in the live events department, which is basically in charge of booking the shows. Hey, Charleston, South Carolina, we want WWE to come on June 28th. Is the date available? Yeah, cool. Book it, contract, all that stuff. So I was helpful in that. I sent in my resume. They called me in for an interview. I was happy to get the interview because I was like, I get to go into Titan Towers. This is awesome.
Right. If nothing else,
I got into Titan Towers. But then they called me and they're like, yeah, we want to hire you. And I'm like, this is awesome. I get to come to Titan Towers every day, and it was quite the experience. I worked there for about 2 years, and then I moved to OVW, and then eventually got signed.
Who was in OVW at the time?
So that was Eminem, Bobby Lashley, Johnny Jeter, Matt Cappotelli, the late Matt Cappotelli. Who else was there? Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. I'm trying to think who else. That's all I can think of off the top of my head right now.
No, so maybe a weird question, but since you were in OVW before, now NXT is like a television show.
Yeah.
So what do you think that, because now they really showcase the guys that are already trained.
Yeah.
So do you think would have been hard as a guy that's not quite to that level training in a promotion like that?
Yeah, and that's
because then you're also being shown on TV.
Right, that's a good question and a good point. I mean, developmental has obviously evolved.
Yeah.
And I think we would all agree for the better.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for those guys in NXT and the athleticism that they have and the stuff that they do. Sometimes I'm like, I'm glad I'm not in developmental now because I can't do any of that stuff, even if I tried and practiced for 5 years straight. So kudos to them for what they can do, and it's very entertaining, that show they put on.
Yeah. So do you still act? I know you said you're into acting, but do you still wrestle at all?
When I get called, yeah, I'm obviously I try to always keep myself in shape.
Yeah, you look great.
So it's not that I have to get called for a show and then say, oh yeah, let me get myself in shape. So I'm always in shape. So if anybody calls me tomorrow, I'm ready. And I still enjoy it. I prefer to do the shows when someone calls me and says, hey, you're gonna take the pile driver from Lawler. Or you're gonna,
that's pretty sweet.
Those are, especially at this point in my career. I want to do something fun. I don't necessarily want to do that 25-minute, high spot bump match anymore. I tried to do that. I did do that. And as I get older and now I have a family, I want to be able to,
If you want to be a wise guy, you can do it anyway. If you want to be a strong man, you can do it anyway. If you want to be an Indian chief, cowboy, you can do it in the ring. You can't do it in the mall.
The most electrifying line in sports entertainment today. If you smell what the Rock is cooking, beat me if you can survive if I let you.
I'm figuring and thinking there's nothing to stop on my doorman Randy Savage now.
All right, and we are live here once again at In Your Head Wrestling Radio on the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, along with my left-hand man, my brother in beheading.
The Flea.
Booyah! Ha! OIB is off
Welcome,
of
Jack.
Power Goat business. We're here to talk about AEW Dynamite. We'll take
Dynamite.
some calls. We'll
Oh,
do
no,
all
Dynasty.
that stuff.
That was it.
Dynasty, exactly. Dynasty. I knew it was Dine.
It was Dyna.
Exactly. Let me share this out. If you are watching now, share this out on your socials, as the kids say. Give it a like button. Pound the like button. Excuse me. Share it out. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Not the internet icon, but that little bell icon. You'll get notifications every time we're live. And, of course, if you would like to help support the channel, become a member. It starts at only $3 a month. I'm going to start adding some restored shows again. I've just been adding some up to Without Your Head. We can do that over here at In Your Head as well. And maybe do some bonus shows.
Oh, now that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, since we're on the road to WrestleMania, I'm going to try to start watching Raw. Maybe I'll do a live Raw watch-along on Mondays. No promises,
But you'll try.
I will try, exactly. But yeah, Dynasty.
Dynasty.
So what did you think of Dynasty? Let's start from the beginning. I did not see the pre-show.
I missed the first match. I had to go back and watch it later. And it was actually a pretty good match, the first match on the pre-show. The trios match.
Let me pull up the card here.
All right.
We had Nick Wayne and the Crew, Action Andretti and Leo Rush, with Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne versus AR Fox and Top Flight with Layla Gray.
I really dig Leo Rush and Andretti as a team. I think they make a neat team together, and I like their weird spiked ball, puffy, inflatable jacket things that they wear.
Yeah, I think they're a good team too. They're really fun to watch. It's too bad when Action Andretti debuted, they kind of did the 1-2-3 Kid deal where he beat Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they really squandered anything that could have any kind of buzz or anything, because then immediately you never saw him, or he never did anything after that. Like, for that to work, he had to when the 1-2-3 Kid beat Razor Ramon, it wasn't like then he was off TV for like a year or something. Like, then he was an established character after that. So even though I think he's good and stuff, anything that I think most people don't even remember that really. Like they never capitalized on it.
No, you're right. And it's kind of a shame because, like, he's always a real talented guy. I love to watch him in the ring and stuff. But you're right, that first, like, year after he had the buzz, like, they didn't do fuck all with him. Were you frozen?
Yeah, I think my internet is very poor at the moment.
Oh, all right. But you're right.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of squandered Andretti at that time. So, like, but I guess it's all right. He's got kind of the fresh start now.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But I mean, they just they got absolutely nothing really off of him beating Jericho, is what I'm saying.
Yep. No, you're totally right. Which is a shame. But I thought this match was pretty cool. It was good to see. And then Nick Wayne and his team going over on that one.
Yeah, I'm a fan of of Christian's team, but from what I'm understanding, they're gonna I think they're gonna disband it so they could just put Christian back with Old Man Edge, and I think that's just a
Oh,
huge waste.
yeah, that's like a big cop out because that's kind of what you assumed would happen when Copeland first got there, and then they were wise enough not to do that. So I definitely don't want to see that happen. Just because Copeland, every time I see him, he just bores me. So I'd rather
Yeah,
just see Edge do it. I mean, Christian doing his heel stuff. So much better.
yeah, yeah. Now Christian did an amazing job recreating himself,
Hmm.
and I was like really against him even being there originally. It was
Yep.
like, what good is this dude? And then he did a great job becoming one of the best heels in wrestling. I think it's his best singles run ever.
Yep.
And uh, I haven't really been interested in Edge since like his original run,
Nope.
and never really in AEW. And I just
Yep.
think huge step backwards to then put Edge back with Christian. And
Yeah,
so
and with
and
Christian,
automatically like the second banana to Edge. And honestly, he's way more valuable at the moment. So like you take him away from being this character that he just recreated to like go backwards in time. And not only just that, it's like AEW is supposed to be the alternative brand, and it's like now we're going to see like a retread of a WWE act from 30 years ago.
yep. Yeah, and it was for Christian. It was just such like a natural transition because when he first started out doing the outwork everybody and the crowd just every week kind of got a little downer on the guy, and then when he had the heel turn it was just awesome and it was just perfect for him. So to turn him back into a face would just be stupid to me.
Yeah, I mean he gets like real heel heat, like Eric said
Hmm.
here. It's like not many people get that. I mean, like as much as I like MJF, people really just want to cheer him, like they find it fun. But Christian comes out and like people are like actually pissed, and even as he comes out as that face, and like you really do like you want to see him get beat up.
Oh yeah. And
Um,
like his team's perfect too, because you know, like Wayne's
yeah,
the
it's all
same way.
guys
When
that
you
can just
first
get
saw
their ass
him,
beat.
yeah, yep, yeah, and you're looking forward to it. So yeah,
I do think it's good to keep Edge in in like tag matches because
yep,
you can hide him. He is over at the crowd. You can hide him in the match. You don't have to expose that he's like an old man. He could
yep.
come and do a couple big spots, and it also saves his body because he's old.
Oh yeah,
But I just think it's a waste to put him. And it's nothing against like most of the older guys in AEW, but it's like they have so many.
yep. It's like we've talked about before. It reaches a point where if you have one or two like older guys, it's kind of special.
Yeah.
But when you've got like a quarter or a third of your roster, like just old wash ashore guys from the E, like I don't want to see those guys.
No, it's like it's why most people started watching AEW to begin with because it came
Mhm.
around during a time like when WWE was like at its worst, like
Yep.
5 years ago, and then like you like, oh, these are new people. This is a new thing, and then you have some people, obviously, like Jericho was there and stuff,
Yeah.
but and then
Jericho and Sting, but it made them special because of
yeah,
that.
yeah. But like sometimes I watch a show and like when Jarrett was on, and I actually like Jarrett. And I like most of these people, but like there'd be a segment would be like Jarrett, it would be Dustin Rhodes, it would be the Hurt Syndicate, Christian, Copeland. I'm like, these are all like guys I'm like 50 or almost 50.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and they're all banged up, and like sometimes they'll have the good matches, but then they'll have the real stinkers sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, like Edge on the last pay-per-view, that was a real downer of a main event, him and Moxley. And part of it's the Moxley run's really terrible, honestly. But Edge comes out and he is over. I can't deny it when he
Oh
comes
yeah.
out and the crowd's singing along. And in this match, like, I don't think he lost to people because he's in a 6-man, so like he's not in there the whole time. But when he was in the long singles match with Moxie on the pay-per-view, I think their Dynamite match was better, but
Yeah.
they could hide that with a bunch of, hardcore
Yeah,
stuff.
crazy spots. Yeah.
But he was just like exposed as like, oh, he's just kind of old and
Yeah, that was his like off night, like because when he's on, like he can still really do good work, I think. But then when I don't know if his timing's off or he's just, it was kind of like, did you watch the Saturday show with FTR? There was a series where they like screwed up like 8 moves in a row. It's terrible. I don't know if like the gun-toting FTR guy like was drunk or what, but
oh yeah, I
he
didn't
was
see it
just
actually.
terrible.
This is kind of a silly comment because there's been like all these reports that Edge won't put any. He's lost like a handful of matches since he's come back at all. Like he's only put over like one guy, like Moxley, and so I guess like in this, and that includes in WWE, like he beat everybody. So, I mean, the idea that Edge was losing to everyone is kind of silly. I think.
Yeah, I don't see that.
No. So anyway, that the second match at the pre-show, we had Anthony. This is another thing. I don't want it to seem like I hate AEW, but this is just mind-boggling to me. You split up the Acclaimed. I didn't see this match, but it's like 40 seconds long. So you split up the Acclaimed. I've always thought, Max Caster. Yeah, he's lost 2 pay-per-views in a row. One was for the world title. One was in a 6-man match that was part of an angle. So to say he loses every match is just kind of ridiculous, honestly. But so you have the Acclaim, which is super over in a homemade team, and then Max Caster is like off the charts charisma, one of the best talkers in the company.
Oh, without a doubt.
You split up the group. If you split up a group, it should be like, we're going to make either both these people bigger or one of them bigger, but they split them up. And even besides even trying, they haven't even tried to make Max Caster like something.
No.
They made him outright into a complete joke jobber. And for the life of me, I just don't understand that.
No, I could get it if you were even going to have like a long running serious feud with the 2 guys. But they haven't done that. They haven't done fuck all. Like, it's been terrible. And you're talking about, like, one of the teams that was probably, one of the top.
It was one of the
4
most
teams.
over things in the company
Yeah.
for a long time. And then even, like, right away, they bring in the Hurt Syndicate, who I'm not against these guys, like, doing something or whatever. But they just completely squashed the Acclaim like they're complete bums.
Yeah.
And that's a really bad look for your company, because what it's saying is that these 2 guys from the WWE, these 2 old 50, I mean, they're 50-year-old guys, but they look great. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the idea is that like 2 stars from the other, 2 real stars would just decimate our stars, our homemade stars, just not even just losing, but just
they don't have a chance. Yeah.
whatsoever. They just get they can't even get offense in on you guys. And you had the smaller of the 2, no selling.
Yep.
No selling their moves. And so I have nothing against Anthony Bowens, but of the 2, like I don't understand like if they think that's going to be the star of the 2 guys.
Mm-mm. No, because I think Bowens like is always going to be a better like tag guy anyway, just because he doesn't have like the on the mic like skills that the other guy has. I think that Caster's always going to be the guy that has the charisma, has like the mic skills, and is good in the ring too. It's not like he's a bad wrestler.
I don't really see the point of this one though. MJF with Ted DiBiase. I mean, MJF's like one of the best talkers, so he definitely doesn't need like a mouthpiece. No. I mean, honestly, he's a way better talker than Ted DiBiase. So I don't really understand what the point would be of that. Will Ospreay.
Oh yeah, okay. With the actual.
Now we have the actual pay-per-view. So we start with the
Owen Cup tournament. Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight. Now, it's my first time actually seeing Kevin Knight because I haven't seen some of the
Okay.
TV lately. And so I'm like, oh, I don't really know this guy. But this match was great. And
Oh yeah.
my only thing I would say is it's weird putting Will Ospreay in your opener, but it was a really good match, but it wasn't like off the charts where like no one could follow it. But
Yeah, like his
that was
cage match or
purposely, it should
something,
be.
Yeah. But yeah, this one was great, and I thought it was really cool because you got to see like Kevin Knight like show off a lot of his stuff, and he's not a guy that's been wrestling a long time. I mean, I've only seen his stuff like in New Japan, and he and Kushida they were tag champs for a while, and I always thought he was like just so much fun to watch. He does so many like really innovative moves and stuff.
Yeah, this was a really fun match. This is a little bit of a complaint. It's not that, but since you have I would just do the Owen Hart tournament as its own show.
Yeah.
I think like when the King of the Ring was a one night tournament, it meant a lot more.
Mm.
And you have they have multiple tournaments a year in AEW, probably too many, honestly.
Mm.
But I think they should really keep it to two: the Owen Hart tournament, and then their year end.
Oh yeah.
The Continental
Yeah,
Classic.
because that one's cool because then they do it the round robin style. So
and the
then
round
you have
robin
two separate ones, two separate styles.
and the round robin has to be over weeks. You couldn't do
Yeah.
that one night. It'd be crazy. But I think if you did the Owen Hart tournament, you can even do it two different shows, the men and the women. As a one night tournament, either you can do one as a pay-per-view, maybe one as like a special, especially now if they're going to do stuff with Max.
Mm.
And then you had one guy like he wins 4 matches in one night. It's much more prestigious.
That'd be awesome. I think they could have turned this into that. That would have been like the
I
perfect
agree.
time for it,
And because I also think just having, even though this was a really good match, just having like the opening rounds of a tournament on a pay-per-view is kind of strange because like you see 2 of the opening rounds, but you don't see the others and you don't see any follow-up to it till like on the free show. I don't know. It's kind of odd.
And it was only one of the women, right? Or did they have 2
Yeah,
matches?
just the one.
Yeah,
match.
so that was kind of strange because, you're pretty pumped to see him win it. So you want to see like the next round. You're like,
Yeah. So
okay.
I think if you had the whole show on the whole tournament on one show, it's better. I also just think when you win,
Or
it's like
have
this
the
person had
finale
to
on
win,
the paper.
or the finals, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the opening matches. That's just weird, I think. But
Yeah,
as a
'cause I
match,
think they did it better in the other one where, it was Osprey and Ricochet and the Rainmaker and whoever he wrestled, and then the final 2, at the end. So you had the 3 final matches at the pay-per-view. So I think, yeah, that way would have been better because then you present the trophy and stuff during the pay-per-view. It makes it more important, I think.
Yeah. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch or wherever else for streaming, I can't pop up your comments. So come on over. I can see some of them, but I can't pop them up here. So go over to YouTube. I'm happy that you watch wherever you're watching, but come over to YouTube. It'll be easier. You can chat with everybody else, and I can also pop up your comments. Let's see. The Hurt Syndicate defeated the Learning Tree, Big Bill, and Brian Keith.
I thought it was a good match. I didn't think it was anything spectacular, but I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, it was like a pretty basic match.
Mm-hmm.
It was really more about like having the MJF involvement. Which
so what do you think?
honestly,
You think he's going with the Hurt Syndicate?
I think it's a swerve, and he does. I hope he doesn't. I don't think he fits in with them, and not just the obvious reason. I just don't really see. Also, I think why would he? I think it doesn't make sense because he's a great talker on his own, so he doesn't need MVP to talk for him.
True.
And I kind of think he would seem like a not a second banana, but I don't think he would come off as like the main guy in the group.
No, I agree.
It
The only thing I can see, like, if they've got kind of a long-term vision and like maybe Benjamin and the other guy leave MVP and go with him. Like he's doing it to get to take MVP spot. Do you think? Like
Yeah, but
it
I think that would
it
be a
would work.
mistake
I
if they
think.
did it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess
I
if
do.
you want MJF to have some muscle, where all the
Yeah,
other
but
heels and
I
stuff
think if
have
you're
some
gonna put
people.
muscle with them, you need to put like some more like a guy that would need the MJF rub, and these guys
Oh, that's
don't.
true
So.
too. They really wouldn't. Yeah, so it is kind of strange. So hopefully it is just kind of a swerve.
Yeah, I just don't think it. I do think they should add an AEW guy to the Hurt Syndicate as opposed to being all a WWE guy, like Hobbs or somebody would be
Yeah,
interesting.
that would be pretty cool.
Whoops. Even at his age, Christian is the best in-ring performer in history. I mean, he's definitely not the best. I really like him. I think it's his best run, but I would never say he's the best performer in history. but I do like
Yeah.
I
Oh,
do
I do
think
too.
he's great. He's great at the moment. I've been concerned about Christian. They're not seeing the value. I don't know. I think he's definitely like used. It's a little hard to like make him the world champ because I do think having I mean it'd be better than the Moxley run currently. And the
Yeah.
crowd went nuts on the last show when it was teased that Christian might win. I personally think right now they really should, even though I like heel champions, I think they really need a babyface champion that the crowd can really get behind, so you can end the pay-per-views on like making people happy. That's to always
Yeah,
making them like pissed. They're not even pissed. They're just like deflated.
Yeah. That's been like the last bunch of months. So it's like, and this pay per view kind of did it too. Like there were a lot of great matches, but a lot of real downer moments, like especially at the ends of matches and things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Ospreay should be the champ. The crowd loves him. It's hard to
There's
follow
no
his matches.
downside, to have an Ospreay as
I would keep his like not I would have him on TV, but I would keep his matches for pay-per-view. They seem special. They do stand out, even though people, a lot of people do cool stuff, but his matches really stand out. And they're always hard to follow, especially like his top tier matches. So if you would main event the show with that, like no one else is going to follow it anyway.
Yep. Agreed.
Let's see here. So yeah, the match is fine. I don't know.
Yeah, it was good. It was nothing really stood out. There wasn't any like great moments or anything like that.
It's I don't want this to be a negative. It was a very WWE match. It was just like it was like your basic match. It's fine, but
I especially felt that way when the Bad Apple was in there because it seemed like the only guy could do anything to the Hurt Syndicate was
Big Bill. The other two guys don't sell anybody. It's not like a giant.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily bad, but at the same time, it's not really that interesting to me.
Yeah.
But Big Bill, I like Big Bill, and I give him a lot of credit for really getting in his best shape and really becoming a better character. But people never talk about this. They always put it on like the Young Bucks and Kill Switch and stuff. But I think he might be the worst at the leg slap. He does it every time he does the big boot.
Time.
And so obvious. Like, I mean, he doesn't even attempt to hide it. It's not even a
he's
really
like
powerful
real ponderous when he does it. Yeah. Yep.
He almost does it like right into the camera.
Yeah, and and the timing's not always perfect either, because like with the Young Bucks, sometimes like the leg goes into the hand instead of vice versa.
Well, I think they do it way better. I think think they get a lot of flack. I do think Kill Switch is really obvious with it too, but I think Big
You're
Bill
right,
is
though.
the
Big
worst.
Bill might be the worst at it. Yeah.
Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart. I was really looking forward to this. I'm a big Julia Hart fan, and I like Mercedes Moné. And I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was that great. It was all right.
Yeah, I think the build-up was better than the actual match. Like,
it's too bad because I think Julia Hart needed to.
Was really cool.
Yeah, I think Julia Hart really needed a big match here to like bring her to the next level, and I don't think she had it.
I agree. Like, because since she's come back, she's not been quite the same person. I don't think.
No, she had a lot of momentum
Yeah.
before she got hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah, it
The
was,
death,
but that was a fine match too. It was.
yeah, there was
It wasn't
nothing
like
wrong
it
with
was a
it.
bad match. It
No.
was just nothing spectacular.
Death Riders versus Rated FTR. This was actually a way better match than I expected.
Hmm.
And there's times I actually really like Wheeler Yuta, and sometimes I'm like, I never think he sucked, but there's times I'm like, why is this guy running in? Like, who really cares? But Jesus, this guy was heads. I know maybe it's because he's from here, but he had some serious heat in this building.
Oh my God, that crowd! I don't think I've ever seen a crowd hate anyone quite
No,
or any more than they did him. Like everything he did, anytime he even looked around, they just went crazy.
And then and I even though I'll say like I'm not really big on the guy, the crowd was really into Cope, and they're singing along into a song.
Yeah,
I actually think him and FTR were really good together. Like I'd said before, you can hide him in the 6-man. He doesn't have to like take so much punishment. He could come in and do a couple big moves. I think that's probably the best use of him. And the Death Riders, like, I know they're the 6-man champs, but this is the first time I've seen them like actually defend it in a long time. Maybe they should like actually.
I didn't even realize they were still the 6-man champs. Like,
I didn't know either.
First time they've said it in forever. Because I thought they combined the 6-man tag belts, and so like
they did, and then split them up again. I didn't understand because you definitely do not need 2 pairs of 6-man titles in one. I know Ring of Honor is separate, but I mean they're basically the same thing.
Yeah, yep. And I think with that, like you could easily have just one champ, and then they go to both. Anytime they want to defend it, they either go to AEW or Ring of Honor.
Yeah, just one though. One and combine them. Just be the combined champion, undisputed champions.
Agreed.
Castagnoli, friggin'. I like FTR, but I always think it's funny that I know why. It's because they're golden boys of Cornette, but they never get mentioned as being like so short. But like Castagnoli's like a foot taller than them. And I know like when they had wrestled Aussie Open, and I remember Cornette was like, Aussie Open looked like, ink stains or something. I was like, what are you talking about? Like they like completely tower over it.
Taller than these two guys, but okay, if you say so.
And I remember they should no sell the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks are like a little, maybe even a little bit taller. I know they're not quite as wide, but
but just about the same size. I mean, nothing too crazy.
This was a good match, really good match. I thought.
Yeah, I like this match a lot.
And then even though I joke, every heel in AEW has to like go right to either murder or trying to like put people like just completely cripple them. It was still a good heel turnout.
Yeah. My only beef is though, like, how many heel teams are there now? Like, I don't know if there's any babyface teams anymore.
That's a good point because he split up Acclaimed.
Yep.
So now you've got FTR as heel, and then you have the Hurt Syndicate, which they do get cheered, so maybe they'll just turn them
maybe they
babyface.
could turn them face, because the Young Bucks are heels. And
oh yeah, that's true.
Everybody, it seems like every tag team are heels.
Yeah, and I guess they're going to bring back. I honestly think we're going to get Christian and Edge again. So I guess in theory you got Edge and Christian versus FTR, Edge and Christian versus the Young Bucks. Like I guess these are dream matches to somebody.
Yeah.
But
but so was the Hardy Boys against.
And those matches were freaking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, even though I'm not the biggest Cope fan, they're not as washed up as the.
No, that's true. Yeah, one guy's not high as a kite.
Yeah, and I always liked Matt Hardy.
Down.
Yeah, that should, instead of broken Matt, he should just been broken down, Matt.
Yeah.
This was, I don't know, one of the matches of the night. Timeless Tony Storm versus Megan Bain. This match
I didn't really know well.
I didn't know either.
I'd seen her a couple of times. I think she was on the old Dark show, like many moons ago, and then she disappeared. I don't know if she had gone to TNA or something, and now she came back. But yeah, this match was awesome. This was a great Davey versus Goliath kind of thing.
Yeah, this was a good example of getting someone over and losing.
Oh
Because
yeah,
she didn't. She lost the match, Megan Bain, but she didn't come off like a loser or anything. Her star rose in this match, and I think Tony Storm. I know Megan Bain was really good too, but I think Tony Storm really gets the best out of people.
oh definitely, absolutely.
Because that last woman she had the long feud with, I really didn't think anything of when she wrestled anybody else, but her stuff with Tony Storm is always great.
Was the best. Yeah, it always stole the night when it, and give props to Luther too. For a guy that I thought was worthless a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And he comes out now, he's Mickey, so he has the oh god, who's the wrestling manager that looked kind of like that? He'd have the cap on and stuff.
Oh, Brutal Bob Evans.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's who he reminded me of when he came out, and
To-
he was just selling it perfectly.
Tony Storm is the best of her gimmick is really funny and it's entertaining, but she's also really good in the ring, which isn't always the case with these kind of gimmicks. And she's a great actress, or she's really good performer all around. She's I think one of the highlights of all of AEW. I think one of the MVPs of the whole company.
Absolutely. I think over the last couple of years, she's just been the best. Hard to argue.
And Megan Bain, I think they have a big star there.
Yep. Yeah, because when she was in that match, it gave me the oh god, who is her old woman that went to the not remember names tonight? Who went to the E, and she was kind of like their female juggernaut. She was the TNA or TBS, whichever one the ladies' belt was. She was the champ.
Jade?
Wow. Yeah. Yep. Jade Cargill. So she kind of gave me that kind of vibe where she was just
yeah, but I think she's a lot better. Better
yeah,
wrestler.
She's a way better wrestler. Yep.
And I like Jade's lost a lot of muscle.
Oh, has she? Because I haven't seen her in the.
Yeah. They even kind of have her in a full body suit. I'm not saying.
Oh, no way.
I don't know. But it's kind of weird because she's not really any bigger than some of the other women now.
Yeah. And this woman, this Megan Bain, is very tall too.
Yeah, and she has a real star appeal to her. Yeah, it's really good stuff. I just disagree about this stuff. I just think retreading this 30-year-old Edge and Christian stuff. I think it's a huge step back for Christian. And I think it just makes a company they're just, oh yeah, you guys are pushing has-beens.
Yeah, that's kind of where the people that a few years ago were hey, AEW reminds me of, WCW.
Yeah.
And it's that would be a definite WCW kind of move, I think.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
Yeah, because you get that, the
if
first
Christian
time they
was
did it, you get the
too,
big snap. Yeah. But other than that, you get, long term, you get nothing out of it.
If they really are both are going to retire, then whatever. But otherwise, plus didn't they just have this blood feud? All of a sudden, they're just buddies again. I know it's wrestling. But... Remember, Cope tied him up and beat him in the balls with baseball bat.
Made him quit. Yep.
Kyle Fletcher, who's another. This guy I always thought was really talented, but this guy's really comes off like a star now.
Oh yeah,
I think he's.
I never thought it would happen either. I always liked him, but I always thought he was kind of a tag guy for life.
Yeah, yeah. His buddy can hit. I know he's hurt, and I want the guy to be healthy, but he's a freak. He's got nothing going for him. Fucking what's his name, Buddy McGee or something? What is the big guy from the Aussie Open who's just got nothing going for him? He's got he comes
Kyle
out
Fletcher's buddy.
A slob. Yeah, he's just a fucking bum.
Fletcher's uncle.
So Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. I was good. I was happy to see Mark Briscoe on like a big match, and I don't think Briscoe losing in this is a big deal
No,
because it was a
this was a
60-minute
great match. I thought. Yeah, everything was real good in it. Briscoe put in all his moves and stuff, so it was good. A lot of hillbilly kung fu going on. I was happy to see.
My only thing I would say is that nothing wrong with Mark losing to this in this match, but he loses way too much on TV.
Oh,
like
yeah,
to
agreed.
that big slob.
Yep.
What is that guy's name? Just a fucking bum. Mark Davis, yeah.
Mark, yep.
Fuck Mark Davis. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he sucks. I mean, it's not even that he sucks. He's got no personality, no charisma. He just looks like some bum.
Yeah, he's a big goof.
They like put him over everybody for some reason. I don't understand. Of all the people in the company that you could push, that's not, some of them aren't even on TV, and they're like, he doesn't even deserve TV time.
Yep.
Sorry, Mark Davis, if you're watching. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. There's nothing wrong with this match. I actually thought it was a good match, but this was a very long show. I normally don't think the AEW pay-per-view seem long, but I do think Dynasty seemed long. And this could have been a match you could have cut, because I don't think the Ring of Honor belts should be on AEW TV or the pay-per-views.
I agree.
So we had Bandito, Mask versus title versus Chris Jericho. I actually thought it was a good match.
Oh, yeah, I like the match itself.
I just don't think it really belonged on the show, especially when it was so long anyway. And this was a very long
I agree.
match.
If you had to trim something, that would have been the one, I think. I agree.
I'm glad I like Bandito.
Mm-hmm.
If Ring of Honor doesn't have a TV show, what is the point of it? I don't really understand. Why is he so adamant about? And I know I mentioned this on the group, and someone was like, well, he has to take advantage of the TV and put it on, but why? Like, apparently Turner doesn't see value in the Ring of Honor name, but they do in AEW. That's why they've given him so much money and TV shows. So if you have your brand that you're making money with, and then the other brand just no one, I hate to say it, but it's like a dead brand. Like, why put any like all this?
And if you are going to put effort into it, then put effort into getting it its own, like TV thing.
Yeah, and if it can't, then just get rid of it. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, because I've always enjoyed Ring of Honor and stuff, but like, I'm not willing to pay for the Honor Club.
No,
thing.
I don't think most of I from my understanding, Intro buys it and he never even watches it. And when he does, like none of the titles are on it except for Athena, I guess.
Yeah, who kind of like, it is funny. It's kind of the golden age in AEW Ring of Honor for the ladies, because it seems like, they're getting a lot of stuff out of a lot of the women there.
Yeah. And then she's banished the friggin' Ring of Honor, unfortunately.
I know. Yeah, I was happy to see that she is in the tournament, though. In the
yeah, it was kind of weird because they showed her there. I thought she was wrestling that night, but she was.
That's what I figured too. I thought because they had two of the men's matches, I figured they'd have two of the ladies' matches.
Yeah. And then it pains me to say this because I'm a big Adam Cole fan, and I like Daniel Garcia. This next match could have been off the show too, and that was Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia. And this the crowd just really didn't care, I don't think.
Yeah, this one was, I think, the low light of the night as far as
I think it was probably the worst match on the show. And it wasn't that it was bad; it was just like,
it was just it was really bland. I thought, I don't know. For a belt change in hands, you think it should have had a little more.
Yeah, I forgot that Garcia was even the champ.
This might be the worst run with the TBS belt.
Because that was actually one that they kept pretty strong for a long time.
Yeah, because remember when Cody had it, and when Sammy had it, and then Miro, it was always the second belt. It was a big deal. And now it seems like a lot of the other belts is kind of...
When Orange Cassidy was champ, that was a great run.
Yep. I forgot about
Even
that one too.
Rusev short run.
Everybody, it used to be, like the secret belt. I
It
think.
was really it was the second title on the world title, and they've
Yeah.
added too many titles. I mean,
Oh,
I think
definitely.
all across all companies, but
Yep.
yeah, and I think Adam Cole's return has been just a dud.
Yeah. He just, I don't know how much longer that poor guy has left either. He just looks beaten down a little bit.
Yeah. Eric, I could see you not liking Sami Zayn and stuff, but I mean, the guy is way more over than Mark Davis. I mean, he gets like huge reaction.
I love me some Sami Zayn.
I do too.
I've never seen a bad match with him.
No, and just like connection to the crowd, it's like it's infinitely more than Mark Davis. Kenny Omega defeated Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey in a three-way for the International Championship, which I believe they are going to actually combine this with the Continental title.
Good. I was hoping they would. In my opinion, you could combine those two and the TBS, or I guess the TBS is kind of the TV belt, so maybe you couldn't, but
yeah.
But definitely combine those other two. I love this match, Neil. I don't know how. I mean, Jack. I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought it was great.
Just real quick, I mean, I didn't even mean matches. I mean, just the reaction to the crowd. Sami Zayn is way more over than Mark Davis. I mean, it's not even like close. And he's a way better promo than Mark Davis too. I mean, so yeah, I thought this match was great too. I don't know how I feel about Speedball. Mike Bailey, he's a really good wrestler, but I'm like,
Mrs. The Flea hates him. Like,
I think I might be with Mrs. Flea. He's got the friggin', I don't know. He's got like
smug look and see.
I
And I don't
think
even
to be a heel.
You know his back story. I don't know if you've seen any promos with him. He's kind of the hippie nerd. He just plays video games when he doesn't wrestle, and that's all he talks about. But he does throw some awesome strikes, I gotta say.
He's a good wrestler.
I love anybody that wrestles barefoot. I'm a sucker for a barefoot wrestler.
Yeah. But I don't know. He's got kind of a mullet kind of deal going on.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of the Rougeau brothers before they became heels. I'm like, this guy should just be a heel. Maybe him and Ricochet, they could be the dork killers or something.
The evil nerd.
Yeah, they can run around with blades and kill people or something.
But I was very happy that Omega won. But I honestly, thought this was a really great match.
I really don't know why Speedball needed to be in this. Not that it wasn't good, but I don't know. I think it probably would have been just as good as Kenny Omega versus Ricochet.
I did like some of their one guy's putting a move on somebody and then the third guy gets involved. I thought they did some really neat, innovative three-way stuff on that. When he was giving him the belly to back and then the other guy got in there too. And so they ended up doing it to both guys. I thought that was pretty neat.
And then it was a really cool match. The last match, which was very long, but it was one of the better Moxley title matches since he's been champion, and that is John Moxley versus Swerve Strickland.
Oh yeah, this one I thought the match itself, the ending, I had feelings about, but I
agree. I mean, it's very deflating.
The match was great, you know.
I mean, there to me, there's probably 4 or 5 guys that should be, in my estimation, should be champ. But you definitely have to get it off Moxley. I mean, it's been almost a half. What has it been? A year now, or 6 months?
It's been even longer.
We've never got an explanation why he why he murdered or wants to murder people. No explanation why he keeps the belt in a briefcase.
Yeah, and what happened? Because Moxley was always the guy I got my backup if I need it. But even when he was a heel before, it wasn't like there was so much outside interference, as this title run. It's just been nothing but that. And this one, they had the best like as the match progressed, like then Moxley's goons came out, but they got like the other guys came in and took them out. And you're like, okay, this is gonna be the
Yeah, I
night.
thought it was
This
like
is
finally
it.
now the AEW guys winning the belt back, which I really think they desperately need
Hmm.
because most of these shows are the last pay-per-view I thought was off the charts.
Oh yeah, yep.
Until but then the ends are just like deflating. It's not even like when Ric Flair was champ or somebody and it's like the heel's winning and you're mad and you want to. This is just like
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, because I think half of it is like just the fact that there's always something else that happens,
yeah,
kind
there's
of
so
thing.
much run-ins and stuff. And so then we had the Young Bucks ran in and did the double kick. This is something I want to mention too. I know they do a little bit too much of like when Hangman runs in. Is he going to hit this guy or that guy? And I even thought that with the FTR like thing because they did it. They did that too much. It was like, are they going to fight each other? And then like so like the bald guy wanted the is that Dax? I don't know. Dax wanted Wheeler to hit Cope with the chair and he wouldn't do it. And he physically pushes him down. But that was all a swerve to just give him a pile driver. And I'm like, well, what
Yeah.
would be the purpose of that unless they're like, let's do this to get a reaction from the crowd? Because there's no like if this was really happening, there was no reason why they would push each other only
Oh
to
yeah.
just pile drive the guy. It makes no sense. And so then this is not quite as bad as that, but it was like so many like, oh, they're going to hit the other guy. No, they're really hitting, the other person.
Yeah, and I really when the Young Bucks did that, like I have no earthly idea why they would.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it because of Moxley and those guys? Like, isn't that the reason why they left and they stopped being the
This
whatever they were, the CEOs or whatever? And so
this
why
is
would they help
completely
him?
ridiculous. I mean, Moxley was super over on the Indies, NXT, WWE as the Shield, WWE singles, AEW up until this run. I mean, this is like his worst run by far.
Oh yeah, and the other 2 or 3 times, however many times he had the belt
Yeah, I
in
was there
AEW, was great.
when Moxley won the title. I was there live when Moxley won the title from Jericho and Jericho first lost the belt. I mean, it was a huge reaction.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, and that run was great too when he was
Oh,
the
yeah.
champ there. But this one's just been such a downer.
Yeah, it sucks. Main event was much better. Yeah, I agree. It was a much better
Yeah.
match.
Oh yeah. The match
end
itself
still, but
I thought
yeah.
was great.
But I don't really get so you bring the Young Bucks back. They do get a babyface reaction, but then you turn heel automatically. Which, I don't know. It just seems like anyone who's off TV for a long time, the fans do want to cheer him, but you probably should just keep him babyface.
Yeah.
And I definitely
Yeah, 'cause
don't.
then you could throw him right back with Kenny and like everything would be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
And I definitely don't like. Well, I don't think they should be connected to Moxley. I don't know.
No, I don't. He's got more than enough people with him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if they've got a beef with Swerve, they've never really said anything about that. So I just didn't understand it. Like I didn't get like why they did what they did. And I'm hoping we don't get another blow off like if after Dynamite you still don't know why the hell they did it.
Yeah, and if you're going to keep the Young Bucks heel, then they have to follow up on them wanting to beat up Kenny Omega. You also have to have a follow up as to what happened with them running Dynamite, with them running AEW. You can't just all of a sudden they're back, they're heel still, but
Yeah, and
we have no
forget
follow
all
up on
that.
any of this other stuff.
See, now would have been the perfect time if you brought him in to be baby faces because now you really don't have many baby face tag teams. So it'd be the perfect time for that.
Yeah, you might as well just put the Elite back together, them, Hangman and
Yeah.
Kenny as baby faces. I mean, it would even make sense if they were they were AEW, the AEW original guys wanting to get the belt back to AEW off of Moxley. I mean, I realize it doesn't make sense with the why they beat up beat up beat up the guy in front of his dad, everything. But it would make sense, like within the company.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and at least like, if you put like a spin on why things went the way they did, that's one thing. But if you forget about it completely, that's kind of crazy. But the one thing we did forget, Jack, was when after Omega won, and
Oh
then
yeah, that fucker.
then the Rainmaker came down, and then Omega did what Jackie Jones would do, and completely ignored him and just walked out like he wasn't
Good.
even there.
Well, I hope Omega just beats that bum and takes his belt, and he goes and
That would be
retires
pretty
back
funny. That would
to Japan.
be like, yep, I'm just gonna just completely destroy you in this match.
As on Facebook, see the thing is, people like they're just saying like put Ring of Honor on Max, give Ring of Honor a TV show. The thing is, like, he doesn't own Max. Tony Khan doesn't own Max. He doesn't own
Right.
TBS. He doesn't own TNT. He can't just be like, you guys now have this on the show. He's tried to get Ring of Honor show, and TBS and TNT, they're not interested. They're interested. They were interested in more AEW television, but they're not interested in Ring of Honor because I don't think they see that brand as worth anything.
Yep.
And that's their prerogative. And if no one sees that brand as valuable, but they see your brand that you created as valuable, maybe you should just focus on keeping that like important and just abandon Ring of Honor.
Yeah, because I could see, like, originally I thought that's what it was going to be. It would get like a secondary TV deal and, like, be
Yeah, I
somewhere.
thought it would be too. I'm surprised it isn't. But if it's not, like, I don't see what the
Yeah,
point of
then,
it is.
yep. Yeah, because if you're just keeping your guys, like, just kind of warmed up, if you use it as, like, your farm league or something like
Yeah, might as well
that.
just do dark.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you just, it probably didn't cost too much, especially if they just did it from Daly's place,
Yeah.
and then put it on, or I guess they could even do that with Ring of Honor, just put it on YouTube or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Because at least then you get the viewers.
Yeah. All right. So feel like I don't know. I think since his comeback, he's been it's been pretty big.
Yeah, Kenny, I think since that the Wrestle Kingdom thing with Gabe Kidd, like he's just been on a serious roll, And I'm glad to see it. I've always liked Kenny, and like it's
Yeah, I
good
do
to see
too.
it because you don't know how much longer he has either.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, these guys, have tremendous matches, but it is also, it takes years off their career.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. I mean, that's what I've always said about Osprey. It's like he's got to find a happy medium where he could do some of his crazy stuff, but like if he wants to wrestle until he's 40 or even 50, he's got to tone it down a little bit. There's no way he can keep up that style for for a long time. Granted, he's 30 years old now, so he's probably not thinking about it, but down the road he will be.
All right, we're gonna take some video calls. You can call in, or zoom
Come
in,
on in.
stream in, and then we're gonna get to these questions. I thought I enjoyed the pay per view. I did think it felt a little long. It was like 5 hours, and
Yeah.
I think it was
I
really
didn't
those
think it was
kind of
as
two
good as
matches in a row.
The
No,
last
it just
one,
it,
last paper.
yeah, the last show was really off the charts, I thought.
Yeah. But this one I enjoyed it. Like I definitely
Oh yeah, I always enjoyed it.
happy I got it.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say, I do think it felt a little long because I think there was a couple. All the matches were long, and there was a couple in there in the middle that people weren't really into, like that Adam Cole match. But I see people saying like they should be like the WWE ones be like 4 matches in 2 hours, and definitely not. And the big thing is people have to remember the WWE shows are on they're free basically.
Oh, okay.
They're on Peacock for, you pay $3 or $5 a month. The AEW pay-per-views aren't traditional pay-per-view. And their audience is more like people that want to see matches. So,
Yeah.
but you can't expect like I don't want to. I wouldn't buy any of those WWE pay-per-views. It's not like I think they suck, but they wouldn't be worth $50. I'd probably like WrestleMania probably just because it's tradition and the Royal Rumble. But most of them I wouldn't buy, especially for $50. A 2-hour show, because you get you get like 10 hours of free wrestling matches already on TV. So why would I pay for that? So and if the AEW pay-per-views were 2 hours, they really wouldn't be worth $50 because you get a 2-hour Dynamite and a 2-hour Collision every week. So
yeah. When I get them, it's always I'm paying for something I wouldn't see normally.
yeah, right.
On their shows,
Yeah.
it's like, and they've always been worth it. Whenever I've
Guys.
hey, what's happening, Michael?
Oh, hey, hi guys.
Whenever I've got their pay-per-views, I always feel like I've got my money's worth. I probably have gotten more than what I paid.
What's up, Michael?
I agree. Hey, hi guys.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree. I mean,
yeah. How's
I
your
do
night
think
going?
it's weird that people. I think it's
Oh, it's
mostly
going
people
good. How are you guys?
who don't buy them, who don't pay for them to begin with. So.
Yeah,
Yep.
the people that just illegally stream them and then complain.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
bitch about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the show was good though. I know I always feel like I get my money's worth with AEW.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
Even the whole history of the company, I've only been disappointed by like maybe 2 pay-per-views
Out
by
of all
them.
their
They're always
pay-per-views,
pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been to a bunch of them live, and honestly, one of the best experiences at a live wrestling show.
Oh my God, so
Even-
much fun! Like,
Yeah, even more than WrestleMania. I was at the one in 2023 in LA, and the Dynamite at the LA Forum. I had more fun there.
Yeah, a few
So-
years ago, I went to Chicago, and I went to was it I don't know, it was an AEW TV show, the pay-per-view, but I also went to Survivor Series, I believe. Was it all that weekend? I don't
Mhm.
know.
oh wow,
It was a lot of stuff going on. I went to all these shows, and this was at a time that WWE though was not doing so. It was doing good like money, I guess, but it was not a good show. And
Yeah.
it's too bad Bray Wyatt has passed away, obviously. But I remember it was a Bray Wyatt cage match. It was just so rotten.
oh no, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns have a dark match once, and it was really not good.
Yeah, this was a dark
So-
match after Raw, and it was a cage match, and it was really bad. And the crowd was completely different because the AEW crowd, everyone was really into all the matches. This was like 4 years ago. And then the WWE show, I do think it's a little different now because people are really into it. Currently, it's pretty hot. But at the time, like they would pop for like the ring entrances, but then they would just sit
Yeah.
there and not care at all while the match was going on. It just doesn't make for a very fun experience, like sitting there and everyone's completely bored while the actual match is happening.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that's why I kind of stopped watching the WWE, because I think the last couple of shows we went to from them, like, it was like that. Like, everybody was all excited. They'd be standing up for the entrance, and then whoever won when they left in the match, people would be talking and just, doing whatever, because the matches were pretty dull.
Yeah, I'd stopped watching WWE about 5 or 6 years ago. And then I would watch not even all the pay-per-views, but I'd watch to keep,
Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, stuff like that.
And then when they went to Netflix, I started watching again, and it's definitely better. And the matches are good. And there's a lot of people that are like I'm a big fan of Gunther and stuff. But
It's not 3 hours, and it's not required to be 3 hours.
Yeah, it's not 3.
So-
Yeah, that's a big plus.
Yeah.
But if you watch, it's hard to watch live because they have like 15 or 20 minute, like just nothing going on between every match. And I don't mean like promos, that'd be fine, but it's just like ads, and they do that on the pay-per-views too. And I think it really hurts the flow because you're just sitting there for like 50 minutes. But if I watch it on Netflix and it's already happened, I could just skip over all that stuff. And then there is like this overproduced feel to WWE.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
some people really like, that it's really big, but I don't know. I like a more gritty wrestling.
Yeah, me too.
I do
That's
too.
what I've always enjoyed. When you get more of that old
To go
NWA,
back, like,
that kind
I
of
would,
thing.
when I was talking, Intra and I will argue over the big blue cage and stuff. I like the old
Mhm.
school cage match, where they're bleeding. It looks like they're actually really fighting, and the big blue cage is like they're trying to escape, and it's more showy, but it's not what I like from wrestling.
Well, because it's nothing you'd see like in the real world, where you could see like two tough guys fighting, by a mesh cage and like smashing each other into it and stuff. It wouldn't
I mean,
be
that's
like,
what they do in UFC.
I'm gonna run away from you and jump out of
Imagine
the
they use the big blue
big
cage in
blue
UFC.
That'd be awesome.
That's what an alternative should do. That's what if Vince
Yeah.
McMahon should start his own. Well, I don't want him, but
Inter would be a big MMA fan then, I guess.
Yeah.
After that,
someone started an MMA program and they just had a big blue cage. But
What?
the
Yeah.
escape part always bothered me too, because it's like,
Yeah,
if you're in a blood
I'm a
feud, shouldn't you
coward. I
want-
won. Yay!
yeah, you should want to
Yeah.
like destroy the guy, not run away.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the one cage match that they had in New Japan. It was like last year, and they hadn't had a steel cage match there in like 10 years. And one guy, he had to retire after the match. Like, he got so like fucked up. And Osprey, I think he got a concussion. One guy, like Hanare, he cut his head so badly that he was out for like 6 months afterwards. Like, everybody in the match
wow.
was just completely destroyed. And the match wasn't really that great. It was okay, but it wasn't
Wow.
amazing. It's like, for that many guys getting hurt, you think it would have been like a much better match. But so, I mean, those
Yeah.
aren't always the easiest things to do, I guess, if you don't do them a lot.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of New Japan, this Friday, I think, is Windy City Riot. So Jack, as the mayor of Chicago, you could go back and check that out. And it's going to be the Ace's last match in the U.S. So
Oh, cool.
if you
I
want to
don't know
see
who the Ace is.
Tanahashi's last match in the U.S., this Friday's the day.
Let's see.
I'm glad he's retiring too. He's
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of these
Retired
old
2 years ago.
Japanese fellows are getting long in the tooth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jonathan Jackson, should every heel in AEW be arrested, since they always seem to want to
Whoa.
murder their opponents?
Attempted murder.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess
My-
so.
That would be a good angle. I've never seen that before.
I'm not against
Yeah.
them doing that. I just think they should, and not every heel should go to the nth degree. They're like, every time someone turns heel, the Moxie stuff was really over the top when he's like trying to suffocate people and pour bleach down the throat.
Or when
For no real reason.
MJF had the lighter fluid with Hangman, and he was going to set him on fire
Yeah, this
a
stuff's
few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should just save that for like, okay, once a year we have someone do something. Not every heel turn.
Attempted murder once a year.
Exactly. Jonathan Jackson, why does everyone involved with Cope tend to turn on him? Well, it is wrestling.
He's a dick.
That could be.
They don't like him, I guess.
Yeah.
After they're around him, they don't like
Yeah.
him anymore.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan had that issue. His
Yep.
friends always turned on him.
Yeah, once you
But-
get to know him, you just want to turn on him. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Did Incher quietly go heel and is biding
Oh.
his time till he meets back with Jackie Chun again? Yeah, that's what the Mountie called me, Jackie Chung.
Nice.
No.
Eric, I mean, I loved Hollywood Hogan, but I think Hogan comeback at this point is probably not going to happen.
I'm ready for it.
Nikhil, TNA Bound for Glory is being considered for Lowell, Mass. Near
Whoa.
Boston. Fightful Select has learned. Would you go? Yeah, of course. I think we would definitely go to that.
Yeah, that would probably be fun. I wouldn't know anybody there, I bet. Well, except for, say his
it's
name
Bound for
and
Glory.
he'll appear.
Yeah, I forgot.
Joe
I
Henry.
was thinking AEW, but yeah. You know, it all depends if it was cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Impact tapings like 25 minutes away from my house. They're like $35 plus fees. I'm debating whether or not to go because I'm not really a big fan of TNA right now.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I might
live
go. I might
wrestling's
not
always
go.
fun, but if you don't really know the guys,
Yeah.
who's there is
That's probably worth it, though. $35. That
it's not
that
bad.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think I might go.
Ray Phoenix to make WWE debut next Friday on SmackDown. What are your thoughts? Well, it's interesting
he
because
did already.
Oh, he did?
Oh, he did. Oh,
Yeah, last week.
okay. How'd that go? Because that's interesting because Penta's doing so well without him. So I think it's almost a mistake to put them together as a team right now.
Mm-hmm.
He debuted as a singles on SmackDown. He wrestled one of the half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, not the guy in the mask, the other guy. I forget his name.
It's
it was an okay match
because I like Phoenix better in AEW, and I think he's a better AEW wrestler than Penta. But I think Penta fits better in WWE.
Yeah,
I agree. I like swagger, I think.
Yeah, he
was
a better promo.
Good in Lucha Underground too.
Mm-hmm.
And Penta, I think, is a better guy to work with other styles. And I think Ray is a more like fantastic. Like he could do like the really wild moves. So I actually think he's a better fit to AEW, and I think Pentagon's a better fit to WWE. But we'll see. So I don't think Ray Phoenix as a singles in WWE is going to really take off.
Yeah, we'll
see.
But you never know.
I wish him well, but I agree.
See it with Penta either. I didn't think he would really be.
I didn't either, but as soon as he was there, like you could see, like, wow, the crowd's really reacting to him, and he's proven that he can work with different styles, and a great promo, which I didn't know.
Oh yeah, were any of those Lucha Underground guys? Were any of those guys not good? It seems like any of them that showed up other places have just been great.
Big Dick Johnson.
Big Dick Johnson. He's going to return.
He was the guy who wrote it.
He was an agent, though, I think. Yeah. He wasn't on the show.
No.
No, they were all pretty good, I think. Lucha Underground was pretty good.
Yeah, when I went back and rewatched a lot, like, I didn't realize, like, Sammy Guevara was there, and I think Swerve was there, and, like, all these
Thunder
guys,
Rosa and a lot of other people, yeah.
And even the Concrete Rose. Oh, my God. Shame on me. Like I said, my memory's gone tonight.
I know you mean them. Is it something Kiss? Sunny Kiss.
Yeah, Sunny Kiss. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was actually someone AEW missed the boat on because whenever I was at live shows, very over.
Oh, yeah. She's shown up on the Ashe show and super over, too. The crowd went crazy,
James Storm says, Triple H told me I wouldn't be in NXT long if I stayed in 2015. Thoughts? Well, you're pretty fucking dumb.
Sorry about your death.
Then why didn't you stay there if you would have been on the big show? Like, that was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm going to
Really
go
dumb.
to Raw? I'm going back to TNA.
Yeah, screw this. Okay.
I think Dixie Carter offered him a bunch of money, though, and then they didn't pay him, is what happened.
Oh, really?
They offered him like more than NXT was offering, but then he got screwed in the end. I think that's what happened. I'm not
all right, you have to put stuff into perspective. You're like, okay, TNA's offered me more money, but NXT I have the possibility of going to WWE, and the guy running the show says you're not going to be here long. You're going to the top show. At that point, you're like, I'm going to bet on myself.
Yep.
And try this out.
Yeah, if not, why did you go there, in the first place? Why didn't you stay
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
were?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
TNA Wrestling made a major announcement during its recent television tapings in St. Joseph, Missouri on March 29th. During the event, Santino Marella, serving as the company's director of authority, declared that Steph DeLander would be stripped of the TNA Digital Media Championship. What are any memories of this type? So
Is
it's
that
probably
really
the
a
that a
worst.
real
thing? The
championship?
digital, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the worst named championship I've ever heard in my life.
Until this very moment, I had never heard of it.
That's worse than the Western States Heritage. I mean, it's just an awful name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Santino then officially announced the launch of a tournament to determine the inaugural TNA International Champion. The high
Better
stakes
name.
competition will culminate in the upcoming TNA Unbreakable. Yeah, that's a much better name. Karrion Kross is at a contract year with WWE. Well, this guy just does not connect to the crowd.
No,
He's just not
he's had
over it.
so many opportunities, and
Yeah, he just doesn't have it. I don't
no.
think. Sorry. Kevin Knight had an invite tryout at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando several weeks ago, but in the end decided to sign with AEW. It's probably a better fit for him, honestly.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
his style will mesh better with AEW.
He's a young guy, so if he can always go somewhere down the road.
Yep.
Brian,
Yeah, he can do, and if he's unhappy, he can just sit at home and pout like the rest of the guys did, and then they'll let him out of his contract.
Lexar, we're getting some heat with Lexar. Put some respect on the Western States Heritage Championship. It's very prestigious. That Lexar, though, he's East. He should be the Eastern States Heritage Champion. Brian Cage suffered a knee injury on an independent show on the 20th in LA against Chris Masters. So originally planned tag title match at Dynasty was Hurt Syndicate versus the Murder Machines, and they had to pivot to the new challengers. Okay.
It was probably a pretty good audible, and like I said, that match was pretty good.
Yeah. Probably would have been about the same match, honestly.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy says, I think there's a strong possibility you'll see the TNA tag titles on the WWE main roster. They're probably just making
Why?
out of them, honestly.
Okay.
Exactly. To do the
And they'll
job,
have
I guess.
two fools just kick their ass out of the blue. Like we got two NXT goofs that are just
like the
beat
Highlanders
shit out of
just
these
come out,
guys.
wash them or something. On this day in 2003, Rob Van Dam and Kane defeated Chief Morley and Lance Storm and the Dudley Boys to become the new World Tag Team champions on Raw from the Key Arena in Seattle. Any memories? I remember watching this on Friday night when Raw was shown live here back in the day. I don't want to be a dick, but I do not have any memory of this.
No, I don't
I
know
remember
that.
because that's right after Kane lost his mask.
Oh,
okay. I do remember Kane and RVD as a team, and I thought they were a pretty good team because it's kind of the classic big man and high flying guy, so that always works, I think.
It sounds like a good team, but I don't remember them ever tagging.
They were pretty good in the run they had in 2003, 2004 as a tag team.
In loving memory, Sid Udy, 1960, 2024, one of In Your Head's most guest appearances. Yeah, Sid was a great guy. Some people like say he always showed up every time for us. He even took the place of Scott Hall once on the show when Scott Hall was in no condition to perform. And I only say that because Scott Hall, would admit it. Scott Hall was a good guy too. He was on the show a couple times, made good on that episode and came back down the road. But Sid, just stepped right up and called in and took his place on the show.
Also,
always a great interview too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Two of the most intimidating guys that I've ever met. When we come at the Fan Fest, just Two
Yes.
towering, larger than life dudes right there.
And Scott, like, I think, like, he's big, but you don't realize how big he was. I think because he was always next to Nash. He's so much taller.
Yep. Yeah, when I bumped into him when he was coming over to say hi to you, it was like bumping into a wall. He didn't move at all. I was like, holy shit, who is this guy?
Then I slammed him.
Yep.
I want to thank you guys again for everything you did with Sid and giving us platform for him to come speak his mind and put over his ideas. We created some great memories. I agree. Thank you, Eric, for helping set those up. Let's see. Brian Matthew Cluttar, who is one of our fine sponsors here, which I should put up here, one of our producers of the show. El Santos World, Brian Matthew Clutter in the Lurker, who help produce In Your Head. They help cover the expenses here. So thank you, fine folks. Brian Matthew Clutter, why are you going to such great lengths to prevent Geraldine from calling in? We love Geraldine, but she's always saying, why won't you let me back in? You're free to call in anytime. You're free to be in the chat anytime. I can't send like personal invites to everybody who listens to the show every week. It's there. You can come on.
Open door for Geraldine. Come on in. We'll save you a seat.
Does Incher have any stories about working with Liam Neeson on the Naked Gun reboot? Lexar, WWE is now inducting famous WrestleMania matches into the Hall of Fame, beginning with the Steve Austin versus Bret Hart submissions match from WrestleMania 13. Are you intrigued? And what should be next year? I think it's kind of a neat idea. And I think the big idea is like now we can get these guys to come back to give another speech.
All right, that's probably their plan.
Yeah. So next year,
I don't know. There's so many great matches over the years. I mean,
there's endless.
Have to put in like 50 a year or something,
Well, I think so. This one you're going to get Bret Hart and Austin on. So I think next year you're going to have to. You'll have to do someone else. I mean, honestly, you should have Andre versus Hogan, but I don't think they'll do that one because Hogan does get a negative reaction right now. Maybe Steamboat Macho. Steamboat Macho.
That'd be awesome.
WrestleMania 3. Or Steamboat. Macho Man Warrior, maybe. But everyone's passed away from that one. So.
Well, then they don't have to pay people, so they'll definitely put that one in.
But I think the idea is, honestly, it'll probably be a Rock match, is what I predict. Because then you can have Rock come in and do a promo. But yeah, who would you do? Rock versus who? Rock and Austin, but I mean, I don't think they're gonna do Austin.
Maybe Rock and Mankind.
Well,
they
had some great ones.
Rock.
I gave this guy brain damage.
I forgot about that one too. I was thinking the one where like it was really cinematic, and I remember the Rock like underneath the pallet jack going ah.
I don't know, Go. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but I think if you really wanted to actually ever be something, it was probably a huge mistake. I would think. That's just
Flea's got to get more coffee. I'll be right back.
All right.
Especially since TNA didn't even pay him.
Yeah. Brian Matthew Clutter, would you rather have a pet otter or pet capybara?
What's a capybara?
I don't know. I like pets though. I'll take all the pets. Lexar, WWE has a WrestleMania After Dark. Oh, here he is. Lexar, what's up, buddy?
How are you? Yeah, I got a new haircut.
You just get out of prison?
No, I'm just helping my mom do her chores. She got bad back pain, so.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, I've been helping her wash the dishes, like.
Will you get a bump in your allowance?
No, I do it for free.
Oh, okay.
The only pay I get is from the government, which is not much, and I hate it.
Let's see. Lexa,
Uh,
WW. What were you about to say?
Speaking of WrestleMania matches, I would like. This probably won't be possible, but I would like to see Triple H, Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 20.
Fuck Benoit. He can rot in hell.
Stop.
Lexar, WWE has a WrestleMania After Dark, a concert series that would be held every night during WrestleMania weekend with appearances from WWE superstars and performances such as Machine Gun Kelly, Travis Scott, Flo Rida, and more. Are you intrigued? Nope.
No, not really.
Even if I did go to WrestleMania this year, I probably will never go to those events. I'll just go to the World and WrestleMania. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I might go to some kind, but that's not an event I would care about. Brian
And even
Matthew
that-
Clutter. Go on, sorry.
And even that comedy series that WrestleMania, what was
really?
it?
A
It
roast
was,
or something, they said?
Yeah, the roast of WrestleMania. I don't care.
Yeah, that's not going to go well. I would probably go to that because I think it'll be a big disaster and the wrestlers will get really upset.
To tweet about it.
Sting,
It's
awesome.
spring! Brian Matthew Clutter, what are your top 7 favorite memories of Dale Torborg?
The Kiss Demon
exactly.
from WCW.
Yeah, Kiss Demon.
Wow.
He showed up in TNA after his release from wrestling.
Oh,
He
yeah.
quit wrestling and went back to baseball as a strength and conditioning coach, and he was on a TNA pay-per-view, I think, or TV. I forgot what it was. And he got this on because you couldn't succeed in our sport, and you had to go to a baseball. So I think it was one of the I forgot who it was. I think it was Robert Roode or somebody.
Were you a big Dale Torborg, Mark?
I like his entrance theme when he used the Kiss song, "God of Thunder."
No, you should have came out to Lick It Up.
Nah,
Yeah,
I like
Lick
the
It Up.
God of Thunder.
Their best song.
Exactly. Lick it up. Yeah. Go on, lick it up.
I was listening to Russo, and he was saying that the idea for that was that they were going to bring in like the Cat and the Star Child and have like a Kiss ripoff band as wrestlers. That sounded terrible.
I doubt Kiss would let him do that unless they paid him like
Yeah,
insane
they'd have
amount
to
of
pay
money.
him crazy money.
I think
wonder
they
who
were
the
going to
other
pay them because they were in, I don't know, some poor sorry
Probably.
bastards. They dodged the bullet.
Hey, that would have
Oh,
sucked.
who left the door open? Lexar's here.
Who would have been the other
Welcome,
people, do you
Lexar.
think? Who do you think they would have made the other Kiss
I don't-
wrestlers? Like people out of the
Lack
power plant?
LaRue? I don't know. Some
They
WCW
made
job
Norman
guys.
Smiley one. They made Norman
Dan
Smiley for
Spivey?
one.
Oh, Norman Smiley.
Norman Smiley.
I was thinking Dan Spivey when you said that. I was
Yeah, I
like,
did
holy shit,
too.
I can't imagine.
Norman Smiley for one night.
I
on
always liked
pay-per-view.
Norman Smiley.
I did too.
I liked when the Blue World Order were Kiss that one
I
time.
probably
in
like them better than the
ECW.
actual Kiss.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Sin Cara has signed multi-year contract with the WWE. Yes.
I'll just remember like the Sandman with the kendo stick, like doing the "I want to kick your ass all night," smacking all the guys. It was great. BWO, that was like an underrated thing. I thought that was
I agree.
just
I'm a
brilliant.
big fan. They should go into the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame.
Say
Yeah, they
hello
should.
to the blue guy.
Lillian Garcia has finished her full-time status with the WWE. She'll do only part-time ring announcing for the company. Your thoughts? I know I'm in the minority, but I don't really think she's a very good ring announcer. So.
I couldn't care less about Lillian Garcia.
I didn't know she was there.
Yeah, so
Brian
Lexar,
Adams.
what do you think?
At first, she was kind of botchy with her entrances. With she got the names wrong and like the hometowns wrong and stuff. But
That's
as the
too
years
bad.
progresses, she will like improve.
What? She just remembered like what to say correctly, but I don't know. I never
Yeah,
thought.
like, don't you have a card when you're saying it? It always seems like they're,
Yeah.
I
reading
was
the
at
card.
I was at SmackDown a lot. I was at SmackDown in attendance, and Lillian announced Jack Swagger as Dolph Ziggler.
Nice.
So this one time. So, at that time it was taped, so they had to like edit it out.
God, she sounds like a real dumbass.
I think my favorite one was at one of the Fan Fest things, and some guy paid to be the guest ring announcer for the main event, and it
Mhm.
was Brian Danielson, and the guy announced him as the instead of the American Dragon, he screwed up and called him the Ultimate Dragon. And Danielson
The
was great.
Ultimate
He
Dragon?
came out and he ran to the ring and he started shaking the ropes. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. I love that guy.
That's awesome.
Brian Adams was the original Kiss demon.
Oh,
Just like he's big. What if we become the Kiss podcasters?
that'd be awesome. I want the Peter
They'd
Chris.
sue us
I
the
want to be
next
the
day.
cat.
Jack,
I
you'll be
agree with-
the you'll be
I
the
don't-
lead singer with your tongue sticking out. So you
I
got
do.
the long red tongue. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I actually really like this faction personally. Yeah, the name's not the greatest, but I like the faction itself, similar to the Ops faction.
Yeah, I was so happy when they came out, in the main event to save, to beat the other guys away.
Yeah, it's about time somebody came out.
Yeah, the former Fight Club, whatever they are now, the Death Riders.
The Death Riders, yeah.
Yeah.
WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg says that he has the best spear in wrestling. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean he really
His was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he put it on the map. Honestly, everyone stole it from him. To be honest.
I'd like to see him have his retirement match at WrestleMania. I hope it's not in Saudi Arabia or something like that. That would be terrible.
Oh,
yeah. Make up for that. The last time we saw him was really sad. So I like to see him in like something that would be fun.
that would be good.
Because that match with Undertaker was really bad.
That was sad.
The Great Khali teases about one more run in the WWE. Are you intrigued? Oh, hell yeah!
No.
Big
He's
Great
in the Hall
Khali
of Fame too. I can't believe it.
Hell yeah! Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I was looking up people in the Hall of Fame. I was like, God, why is the Great Khali in the Hall of Fame?
Wow.
So perplexed. Is he?
That would be
I
like
couldn't believe it either.
who is the dude with the
Lecter's very
furry
intrigued.
bodysuit? He should be in there.
Who
too,
deserves
then.
it the least?
Elegante?
Yeah,
They should just
El
Elegante,
Gigante
yeah.
should be in there too.
his suit should just be inducted. It's the first ring attire that's inducted.
Yep.
Yeah.
They should have like the tall, worthless guys Hall of Fame.
After they put all the matches in, they'll start inducting ring attire so they can get like more.
Yep. The Iron Sheik's boots. El Gigante's bodysuit.
The belts too, the European belt, the hardcore belt.
Yeah.
Those old belts they don't have anymore.
Let's see. Soraya says that she's finished with AEW. She could be returning to WWE or in treat. I was always a fan of hers, but honestly, I think her return was kind of just a dud.
Yeah. I was glad she got the belt and stuff, but
yeah.
I just think like the
Wembley.
neck injury was just too, just too serious. Like if you got to be careful all the time, like hurting.
And the women's wrestling's like, they really go all out now. So
yeah.
Not that she didn't back in the day either, but
I think she was going to have a Legends deal with WWE.
Yeah, I always worry about Shibata when I see him. Like, if you take a punch to the head or take a bump and you land on your head, you could like kill yourself. Like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, just go.
I was there in attendance when Soraya made her AEW debut
Oh,
at
were you?
Grand Slam. Yeah. And I was there for his first match in AEW at Full Gear.
Did
Nice.
you whip it out?
Huh?
Did you whip out your dong?
I got hard on. No.
I saw her and her boyfriend at some concerts in LA. She's really nice.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
I talked to her
Lexar does
for like
not
5
that.
minutes once.
Lexar is very anti-boyfriend and girlfriend together.
Yeah.
AEW could be bringing back Dark after the deal to bring Shockwave to Fox fell through. Are you intrigued?
Sure. I like Dark. I really did.
It's too bad Shockwave didn't get to replace Rampage.
Yeah. I'm a big Adam Cole fan too, but this run since his return has been real pitiful. Here's a good wrestling chant. Johnny Swinger. Johnny Swinger. He's still alive.
Wow.
He might be on that show, Michael, if you buy a ticket.
Oh, TNA? You might be the champion when I go.
Yeah. Would you buy a Johnny Swinger t-shirt?
No, I wouldn't. I like him and Simon Diamond back in the day, but I wouldn't.
They had like bootleg ones out in the. When's AEW coming to Boston soon? Maybe it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's next week.
I think they are. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, next week. And it's a landmark moment for the show and the company because they're surpassing the WCW Nitro episode.
After the show, I'm gonna look up tickets, Troy, see if how much they're going.
Yeah.
It's at a different
so that-
it's at Fenway, which is pretty easy to get to on the team.
Oh,
Just
okay.
take the
They're doing
Fenway.
They're doing a Dynamite taping next Wednesday, and next Thursday night is a Collision taping. So you get two shows.
Two shows.
I'm like,
I don't think that's a very smart idea to do two shows in the same place, but
Yeah, because usually
They
when
should
they
just
do
do a
that,
super
they'll do
show.
one in Boston and then do one in like Rhode Island or something.
Yeah.
You know, like same general area, but
yeah, because unless you like live right there, it's like not very easy to just to go up to Boston, then home, and then go back up the next day. Lexar, would you clap Geraldine's butt cheeks? Whoa!
I probably would do it too with those chants of Geraldine.
Yeah, well, you have to ask Geraldine first.
Yeah.
yeah, but
How-
Lexar is so horny he'd clap my butt cheek. So you know.
Lexar, how often are you horny? I don't think as often as Lexar. How often do you go to the casino? I haven't been to the casino. I
been
don't
a
think
while.
all this year so far.
Hmm.
Not for a long time. I almost went this weekend, but I was still kind of sick. But yesterday I felt better, so I'm thinking maybe next time I go up to Boston to go see movies, I might head over to the casino too. I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which international TV shows are you a fan of?
The bunch of weird Chinese shows that I love.
Like the Iron Chef.
Oh yeah, well I love the Iron Chef, but there's Netflix has a pretty good selection of like Korean stuff and all kinds of K-drama they like to call.
Hit that like button, you fools. Smash the like button, subscribe, share this out, become a member. It starts only $3 a month. If you see hot women from other parts of the world, do you think about them?
What?
So what do you like? Like, oh, she's not American. I can't find her hot. I don't know.
Yeah. Sophia Loren's off my list, man.
What's the most disgusting breakfast cereal you've had?
Bran flakes.
Breakfast.
Whenever
Bran flakes.
yeah, they're pretty bad. I don't know. Whenever they bring back the monster cereals, they're the biggest disappointment. I get excited and I try them and they're crap. They taste like
I agree.
chemicals and medicine and sugar
That's exactly what I
and
like.
sadness.
Oh yeah, we talked about this earlier. Completely agree, Golgo. I don't understand the Mex caster burial. I think he's like I think he could be a legit top guy for the company.
Yep.
Yeah, I have
He's
noticed.
young. He's been there, since the beginning.
I think there's something there though, because Meltzer always buries him too. So I think Tony Khan calls up Meltzer and he's just like, yeah, really stick it to this guy.
Yeah, maybe Caster's like maybe his raps cut a little too close to home sometimes, and like he just hurts people's feelings. And,
Meltzer acts like he's like the worst wrestler in the world or something.
Yeah, I just don't get it. And like I still don't understand why we don't still have the Acclaimed, because everybody loves the Acclaimed.
They're way better together than apart.
Scissor me, Daddy Flexar. Or Daddy Michael. There we go.
For the 6th consecutive year.
That only does the doctoring. That only does the doctoring. There you go.
Boom. For the 6th consecutive year, the Weeknd is going to have a song for WrestleMania. It's called Timeless. Are Jonathan Jackson and Dobbs intrigued yet? Dobbs is always sending me Weeknd videos. He's like infatuated.
I love me some Weeknd, Chief. Like, he's the man.
I don't even know who he is really, besides the name. Like I couldn't pick. I don't know. I couldn't name you one. Is he the guy that does the Happy song that you like?
No. He has weird hair. He has weird hair. But
is he the guy that has like an oxygen tank and like is like 600 pounds and does like his concerts on a couch?
No,
I've never seen that guy. I'd like to see that guy.
It's a real guy. Yeah.
I don't know him.
Is that Jelly Roll or somebody you're thinking of?
No. Jelly Roll can like move. This guy like can't even move.
Oh,
wow.
You could always
Google
him,
the
Jack.
Super Bowl halftime like a few years back. You heard him. He's good.
I'm gonna look this guy up. Oxygen tank.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Dave Blunt's. Yeah, he had like a feud like with Snoop Dogg.
I didn't have a feud with anybody when you're in an oxygen tank.
Well, Snoop Dogg was kind of making like fun of him because he does like his concert sitting on a couch. Then I listened to some and all his music's about like stealing people's girlfriends and stuff, and I'm like,
wow,
he's a real ladies man.
Yeah, you got it going on then. When they've got to come to you, you're like immobile.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a picture here to upload. Here we go. David Blunt's. Maybe he'll do the next WrestleMania theme song. Maybe I was gonna say do a run in, but I don't think he could do it.
He probably show up at that after.
Whoa!
Wow!
Oh my! He's obese.
Wow!
David Blunt's. I'm sure he's a good man.
Did he become overweight by smoking blunts?
I don't think that makes you overweight. I don't know.
You got the munchies too much.
Yeah, there you
go. Nikhil, Bound for Glory is we already did that one. I think he asked these same questions twice.
Just to keep you on your toes.
And we got some different ones here. Rip Van Kill. Oh, I thought because he didn't capitalize all of RIP. I actually thought I thought it was a wrestler named Rip Van Kilmer. Like, but I'm sorry to laugh, but it's RIP Van Kilmer. Is that even the name, Van Kilmer? What are your favorite movies? Tombstone.
Definitely. Yeah,
Tombstone is very good. With Doc Holliday. Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Mm-hmm. He was good in that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Top
he's
Gun.
great at that. I loved him in Willow.
Willow, yeah, Willow's good.
I've never seen that actually.
Oh,
really?
check
Willow's
it out.
really
I think
good,
you'd
yeah.
enjoy it. Really good movie.
Okay.
Ric Flair said he will not be at WrestleMania 41 because he's still working for AEW. I had no idea Rick was. Yeah. Huh. Why don't they ever have him doing anything?
Yeah. I wonder if Tony Khan knows this.
Carl Anderson has taken a shot at WWE while discussing Kevin Owens' injury. I don't
Carl
know.
Anderson, the most
Yeah.
irrelevant man in wrestling.
Wasn't he there for years and never did shit? The Young Bucks returned. Love it! Ah! Says Nikhil. Well, I'm glad Nikhil's happy.
I'm happy to be back.
You know who else is
Hey,
happy?
everybody. Hey, Troy.
What's up?
Anthony, what's cooking, my brother?
What up?
Looking
All
good,
is well.
Anthony. Looks like you
Thank
lost some
you.
weight.
Thank you. Yeah, I lost some weight.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Looks like you're ready to get
Yeah,
in
what-
the ring, maybe start wrestling.
Yeah, still working on my memoirs. I'm up to 2010.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mighty XR. Hey, Troy.
Hey guy.
How we
Hi.
doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing
Oh.
excellent.
So when are you returning to Facebook?
In a year.
1 year
Okay.
from today.
Yep.
Mark it on
You
your
know,
I'm
calendar.
putting it on the calendar. I'll
I'm,
be
I'm
ready.
just typing. I'm just typing in my memoirs and everything, and get me Transformers.
More years.
What?
I mean, 15 more chapters or...
2 more years till I met you guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
When did you first? Well, how did you meet us? How did you run into?
2012.
how did you find us?
2012.
Yeah, what
Oh,
was going
okay.
on?
It was good. I was moving to Ozone Park and everything.
Hell
Mhm.
yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
I'm
So,
good.
how long are the memoirs?
Oh man, they're like a lot of years we got to get put up through, you know. Mhm.
So what have you been watching?
I've been watching a lot. I'm watching like Me TV. I've been doing uploadings on my YouTube, my Daily Motion. I'm getting a Transformers tape. I'm getting Real Genius on Thursday. To rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
What was your favorite Val Kilmer movie, Anthony?
Batman Forever.
Okay,
oh,
cool.
wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
There was a picture came out recently. It was Val Kilmer with a giant animatronic bat that was
Yeah, I know.
cut out of the
Play
finished
tribute.
movie.
I'm
Yeah,
always on Instagram a lot, you know.
yeah, I would have liked to seen that in the movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Thunderbolts, Sinners. I just saw Death of the Unicorn, Troy, a week ago. It was
good.
It was okay.
Yeah,
I saw it today too.
Was
How'd you like it?
I liked it. I thought it was okay. I liked it. I give it like a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 for me. I'm gonna go get my tickets for Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think
Thunderbolts and
Sinners next week.
Sinners
what I'm
is
looking forward to.
in a couple of weeks. Actually, next
okay.
week. Yes, next week.
I was gonna go see Corpse this weekend. It's a new Vietnamese horror movie, but I was sick. But I'm feeling better now, so I think I might
I
go
met and there's video circulating that I met Kristen Ritter. It's all over online.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Kristen Ritter is a babe, you know. And I watched a little preview of Dead Old Born Again. I don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah, don't do it. You gotta some of those trailers they spoil the movies.
Spoiled. I can't wait for Sinners and Avengers and Fantastic Four and the big one, Superman.
Yeah, this is the first Superman I've been looking forward to in a long time.
Yep.
I think it's really fun.
That's my
And
Batman Forever Cup from '95.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have that. I have those. I have those.
Yeah, those are awesome.
I'm losing weight because I'm focusing on the 4-part biopic that I want to play in.
Nice. Where was that? What's that from, Michael? Was that from?
It's
like
from
Oh, nice.
1995 when I was a little kid. I still have it.
Nice.
With
Nice.
like
pretty nice cup for a Happy Meal thing.
See, Anthony.
So that's what I mean. They were in a Happy Meal. I don't know if they were like Burger King or Happy
Yeah,
Meal.
they're for a Happy Meal. Isn't that a nice little clear
Wow.
really
cup?
nice.
A little
And it's
juice cup.
usually
like a
glass
plastic
or is
thing,
it
yeah.
plastic?
Yeah, it's like real glass,
Nice.
and it has Batman on it. And it says
Yeah,
Batman
that's really
Forever.
I'm digging
That's
it.
the McDonald's logo on the bottom. Yeah, better than a little cheap toy.
Yeah. I always look to see what the Happy Meal is because there's a McDonald's at my bus stop. And if it's ever anything neat, I'm gonna buy a Happy Meal. But it's always been
Yeah.
usually stuff I don't even know what the hell it is.
Do they
Yeah.
still have the adult Happy Meals? Remember, and they had
No,
I think
and
they
when they
do
had
now.
the adult Happy Meals, they were sold out every time I was there. I never got to get one.
oh, that sucks.
They had one for Minecraft. I went to McDonald's today. I was like, what adult wants the Jack Black Minecraft movie? I don't think adults are going to see that.
Everybody's going to see it.
Yeah, it's
It
made like $1
huge
billion.
money, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I
I'm
think it beat
surprised.
Barbie.
It
I
was
think
like
it
the
beat,
big surprise hit.
yeah, they could beat Barbie.
Wow, I can't believe that. Wow.
Yeah, I've never played Minecraft, so I
I
don't even
guess
know
I'm
what
wrong then.
Yeah, yep. The Jack Black
Wow.
Momoa like combo, I guess, worked.
Yeah.
Ricky Saints has discussed his AEW departure and future WWE goals. I want the WWE Championship. Yeah, so I saw this on the group, and the one guy was like, "Oh, he should just stay in NXT," and it was like, no one would be like, "I just want to be the NXT champion like, for my career." Like your goal should be like, "I want to be the world champion."
Yeah, you'd worry about the guy if he didn't. If he was like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm content with staying here," and
Yeah, my goal is to be NXT champion.
yeah.
I'm a
Woo.
big fan of his, so I hope he does really well. And I think he will. I think he's got a ton of charisma,
Mhm.
really good talker, and a good wrestler. So connects to the crowd. I think he'll do well. Only just found out today that the 288th episode of Nitro was the last episode, and the 288th episode of TNA Impact was January 4th, 2010, when Hogan and Bischoff debuted.
Wow, that doesn't seem possible.
That's one thing, though. Like, they keep saying that, because it's Turner, I guess. But they keep saying that Dynamite's going to be the longest running show, but, like, TNA's been on long. I don't think that's even true anyway, because WCW Saturday Night was on for, like, decades, wasn't it?
No, it started in 1992 and
Yeah, but it
finished
was
around
Saturday
1999.
Night before that.
There was a time when TNA was on the internet after they got canceled by Fox Sports Net before they went to Spike TV for like a few months.
Okay. Oh, so they had like a little break in between.
Yeah, like a little 3-4 month break. I remember going and they were using like the Real Player with the dial up, and it was terrible. It was all blurry.
I remember watching those early Impact on Fox Sports Net.
Yeah, the friggin' WCW Saturday Night started in 1971.
No, that was World Championship Wrestling. That's when they started it.
Saturday
When Turner bought it,
from,
it
but it's
was
still the same show.
Same show but different name. It's officially in 1992.
That's just being
Officially was in 1992.
Well, still then, if you want to go by the other way, it was from 71 to 92. That's 21 years before it changed. So
World Championship Wrestling. That's what.
Yeah, but it was on for 21 years before it became WCW Saturday Night. So that show itself is on a lot longer than AEW Dynasty.
Yeah, and then if you include when it turned to WCW, then you're talking 30 years or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know when it went out of business.
Just saying it. I like AEW, but it's kind of like it's kind of lying here.
Yeah.
The AEW marks online have been making a big deal about it.
Well, I mean,
about
the company
surpassing
knows
Nitro.
Well, good, and it sticks it to Bischoff. And
I think
fucking-
that's
so
the primary thing. We're gonna stick it there, Bischoff. I'm sure WWE is the best company in the world, brother. WWE, they make you feel like a superstar. They make you feel very professional. You are a professional wrestler. I love WWE. These 3 months have changed my life. Every change is improved something. This improvement was my career. This is Penta. That's cool. Penta has been doing really good in the.
Cool. He's doing, yeah.
You heard about Rob Van Dam's comments about him being trying to be associated with WWE and not with AEW
I
after
hated
that.
Yeah,
He's on the payroll.
that was such a hypocrite-like statement, I think.
And then they show the video of him hitting Abyss with the same type of weapon in TNA, the 2x4 with the nails. She was being a total hypocrite. I love RVD, but total
Janice.
hypocrite on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Janice.
Janice.
I remember
Hitting the
that.
spike. Yeah. Exact same weapon. He was hitting Abyss with it.
Let's see. Thoughts. As I got older and started wrestling and I understood the business more, I got a higher appreciation for Bret Hart, says Drew McIntyre.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're crazy if you know Bret Hart's good.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't, if you don't think Bret Hart was any good, you're an idiot anyway.
I watched the Naked Gun trailer reboot with Liam Neeson. Look decent. Will you watch? Honestly, probably not.
Yeah,
I didn't know the trailer was out for it.
The movie,
I didn't either.
yeah. I don't know. I probably won't watch. Well, I guess it's possible. Like if I'm in Boston and I have an extra movie pass, or if it's on free TV. But honestly, it's definitely not like something I care about watching.
I love the original 3.
Oh yeah, I love the original movie.
Yeah,
and the
they're
TV
kind of
show is
fun.
really underrated. Will you watch a new series of Black Mirror? Yes.
Oh yeah.
After we're done with
Did
these,
you guys see the second trailer for the new Superman? They added some stuff.
I haven't.
Oh no.
It looks really good. I mean, I love the first trailer, and this one.
Yeah.
They show a little more, and they show the Fortress of Solitude.
I'm in the opinion there's
Pretty
no
cool.
good Superman since Superman 2. So I'm
I
excited.
agree.
I'm in your corner on that one.
1 year ago, I attended WrestleMania. Do you think Cody Rhodes' reign has been good?
No. Nope.
I haven't watched, so I really don't know.
I think the problem was
Okay.
they didn't set up any like real challengers that were like a big feud. He just like wrestled guys everyone knew he was going to beat.
Oh, okay.
Joe Henry versus
He
Ethan
wasn't at
Page.
Raw this week, too. Him and Cena. That was lame. Both of them weren't on Raw this week.
Yeah, it's like
Second to last Raw before WrestleMania. How shitty.
We're on the road to WrestleMania. Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page versus Frankie Kazarian will take place in a 3-way match for the TNA World Championship at Rebellion.
Joe Hendry against who?
Ethan Page and Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah.
Does this interest you? I mean, honestly, no.
No. I love
That's
Joe
in
Hendry,
LA,
but
too.
screw those other guys.
Tony Storm, there was a man from Nantucket whose cock was so big he could suck it. If my ear was a pussy, I'd fuck it.
No, he said with jizz on his chin, he said, with a grin, if my ear was a pussy, I'd fuck it.
Nice.
Forgot the middle part. I love that when she said that at the press conference before finally wrestling's getting back to what it's supposed to be, good, wholesome family entertainment. And the second thing, and then she reads that. It was funny. Remind me of something Joel Kerner would say.
Yeah, I'm a
From
big
ECW.
fan.
Nobody's better than Tony.
Nikhil asked who she talking about. I mean, that's just an old saying. Hope you're both good. Well, thank you. Aaron. 2 more questions, and we'll get to other folks here. Mike Bessler, thoughts on the Dino Bravo Ronnie Garvin bout at WrestleMania 5? Bad.
I was never.
I didn't see it.
Ronnie Garvin fan.
Yeah, not either. Also, which show did you like better, Good Times or What's Happening? Good Times is a better show, but really the first season is the best.
Good Times was pretty depressing that first season.
It was. Yeah, it was a much more serious show the first season. Brian Matthew, Dynamite! That's what they named AEW after. Brian Matthew Clutter wants to know, how often is Lexar horny?
A few
I have to
times.
say
per
always.
week.
A few times a minute?
Per week.
All right. Well, there we go. Those are questions. Thank you. Join the Facebook group to send in questions. And
Good time,
also,
good place, good people.
exactly. Leave your comments and stuff here on YouTube. Rate, subscribe, become a member. It starts only $3 a month. We have Vic Schiavone here. What's going on, Vic?
Yep. Finally off nights after a month.
Oh,
Nice.
it's good to see you. We haven't seen you for a while. I thought you were like, fuck these guys. I've had enough.
No, I'd never do that, Jack.
I'm just kidding.
You never thought that?
I'm just kidding.
He's a godfather of the Headyverse.
Well,
It says on his name
exactly.
at the bottom.
Yeah, I've got my Vic Schiavone action figure right here.
Hell yeah.
I could
like
make it that, if they still have these, it's weird because for whatever reason at this closeout store near Troy and I, they have all these Ric Flair figures, but all of them are Ric Flair. They're like very cheap. And I wish they had some other people just because then I could have two people to like do moves, and I don't want to do. But I might buy another one and make it into a custom Vic Schiavone figure.
I could do the repaint.
Yeah, put some glasses on them, give them like a polo shirt.
Yep.
We need like a birthday bear for him.
Yeah,
I like it.
that would work.
Good. Yeah.
Anyway,
So
got a
Vic-
question for everybody.
All right.
With the exception of the triple threat match, does anybody even care about WrestleMania?
Nope.
Because it looks like it's going to really suck this year.
Yeah,
I
the
agree.
matches. I probably think most of the matches, like a lot of matches, will be good, but it's just like, am I excited about it? No, I've never liked multi-man matches, especially for the big pay-per-view matches. So, and like almost every match is like 3 or 4 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
besides
no good.
Cody and Cena.
It's like I could care less about that match, and that's supposed to be their. That's probably going to close night too. So
What's a triple match in it?
that's going to be Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay.
At least they've built that up. Storyline wise,
you have
some of these are just ridiculous.
My only issue with that is like the build is good, but the build is like, so CM Punk is like swayed because Paul Heyman's like, I'm going to give you what you want, the main event that you've always wanted at WrestleMania. But besides him offering him the main event spot, why would that be the main event? There's no title involved.
They're doing a favor for CM Punk.
I've got no problem with that because it's the only match I'm interested in. So
Yeah, but I just don't think a match that's got no title should be above like your other title matches on the show. I think that's just it's not about that match so much. It's just like the rest of the show is not booked very well. If that's more important than your world title match.
Taken on?
Jey Uso. So like Jey Uso wins. That's another thing. Is they say when you win Rumble, you main event WrestleMania. He's not even main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah,
he's getting title shot at WrestleMania. He's not main eventing WrestleMania.
I hope it doesn't open the show like when Del Rio won versus Edge. That was terrible. It was like the first match on WrestleMania that year.
I was there for that one.
Oh, you were? I just didn't like that the world title was opening the show as the first match.
Yeah,
you should have been there when the crowd was silent during Edge or during Cena versus Miz.
Oh,
It
Cena
was
versus
so
Miz?
quiet.
Oh.
So quiet.
Well, they should have been
And I
on
saw a
later, though. I
couple
don't think the
friends
world
who-
title should open the show.
No, I think they did it because to build up the Rock versus Cena thing for next year's WrestleMania. That's what they did. But it wasn't a good Mania. I was there.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see Edge's final match for a few years. And then
Oh, yeah. Was that in New Jersey or New York?
no, in Atlanta. It was in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Okay. Cool. Cool. You know what would be funny though, Jack? I think
What's that?
if they did AEW all in the same stadium in Las Vegas next year and they charge reasonable prices, they could say we sold out this stadium faster than WrestleMania if they wanted to be petty.
Yeah. That would be pretty funny, honestly. I do think they priced themselves out and like it's not I don't know. It's just like it's kind of sad that like if you're just like a a family or something, you
Yeah,
just
there's
couldn't
no
go to
way.
WrestleMania. It's like we're gonna spend like 200
I,
grand.
I
Like,
wanted to
that's
go.
a-
I had my trip planned, but I saw the prices. I was like, holy shit, I can't afford like $5,000 ticket.
yeah, Matt. So like if
That's
you're like
just
a
insane.
family of four, like like a married couple and got a couple kids, it's like we're gonna spend like 50, it'd be like 200 grand, like or like
You could buy
100
like a new
grand
car at least.
yeah, or you buy like a house almost.
Yeah.
It's like they
Yeah.
don't even care about selling out anymore. They come out now and they say this is the highest drawing show in WWE
Yeah, the most money,
history,
yeah. Mhm.
which I
That-
believe
that-
it's going to be at $800 for a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Oh God,
That's
yeah.
always-
How could it not
Yeah.
be?
That's always bothered me about everything. It's like when they used to do that with movies, it's like this movie's made more money. But it's like, well, when King Kong came out, it cost like a nickel to go see the movie. You can't really compare that to a movie
Yeah,
that
now
cost
it's 10,
$18,
$12, right? Yeah.
Unless you do it for inflation, or if you just, I always think it should
Yeah.
just
Or
be ticket
ticket
sales.
sales, yeah.
Yeah. Like that, probably over the years, those older movies, because they would play like for years, like a Rocky Horror Picture Show or King Kong would be released over and over. Yeah, highest grossing show. Exactly. It's just, yeah. I mean, everything eventually will be higher grossing than some of the
Oh,
bigger
yeah.
shows. If a show had like 60,000 people, but it cost $10 to go see it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like in the future, if the lowest price ticket's like $1,000,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it'll be out. It'll be making more money, or not even necessarily making more money, but it'll bring in
Yeah.
the
It'll
gross.
make more
The
money.
gross
but,
will make
like,
more money.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Ludite? Are you saving up
Can you
$5
hear
grand
me?
to go to WrestleMania?
Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I'm on a bad leg tonight. The headphones keep breaking on me. So,
Yeah, we hear you. We can see you too. You're not in the dark. You're not in a mine.
I know you're not in the coal mine tonight.
yeah, I don't know why that is. That's a little confusing, but same amount of light as always.
Lexar,
Yes, sir.
you getting any new signs soon?
Signs.
Yeah, like the CBS banners.
Now this one, no. I want to get a new canvas, but I don't know. It's all expensive.
That
Yeah,
way
you
you
just
can
throw them
talk
on
to
your
the
floor
other one.
anyway.
You can
There
talk
is
to the other
ECW,
one.
there is TNA. I want
That
to
would
get
be
an
fun.
MMA canvas, but it's hard to find.
That would be funny though, Jay Bradbury. They're like, this is our highest grossing show in history, and it's just one guy in the crowd who paid like $1 million or something. He paid $5 million for the
Well,
one
that's
ticket.
all you do technically.
That green T-shirt guy has been to almost every pay-per-view that there was.
Yeah,
I don't know how he does it.
I'd be worried if I was him, because like that's like the guy. I'm not condoning this, but that if you were like gonna rob somebody, that would be the guy to do. Like, well, this guy's gotta be fucking loaded.
Yeah. Whatever
You know what I'm
happened to
saying?
the sign guy from the old?
He can't
ECW?
afford to go anymore. Sign
No,
guy,
exactly.
tie-dye guy.
I saw him at
He goes to
AEW, I think.
he goes to AEW
Oh, really?
shows.
He
Nice.
does the
Yeah.
hat guy?
No,
I met a tie-dye guy at Mohegan Sun Casino. He really smelled bad. He had really bad BO.
He's been wearing the same
I
tie-dye
think he
shirt for
was,
25
honestly, yeah.
years.
Yeah.
doesn't shower.
We haven't been to I'm gonna look up this AEW in Boston. It's in at Fenway. Let's see how much the tickets are.
$80, $800 for a cheap row.
Let's see. April 16th. That's what, next weekend? I mean next Wednesday?
Yeah.
It's at MGM Music Hall at Fenway.
Oh, cool.
I've never been there. see. Show tickets. Oh, not bad.
I think I saw a
35
drag
bucks.
show there years ago.
They range from $35 up to, they go pretty high up. Well, not that high, but up to 180. But lots of them
180.
between 35 and 45.
180 for like front row isn't that bad though.
No.
Yeah, but it's
if you
not
could get
front
that.
row. It's middle level.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So no floor. The floor's sold out by now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
yeah, we would have found out earlier.
yeah. But we can still get tickets that are pretty good. Because I think the way it's set up, none of the seats seem bad.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
And I always like a balcony, or like first
yeah.
balcony. Or
See how it's like set up? Like there's the
Oh,
ring just
cool.
on the
Yeah.
one side. And so that orange,
Oh, yeah, I see
those
it.
orange seats are $35.
It's
Yeah,
probably
it's
like
not
a venue for concert,
so-
I'd say.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'd
Yeah.
probably be bad anywhere, honestly. Yeah, the floor seats, actually, there are floor seats. They're not too bad, $108.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll look into that.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good places to eat in Fenway, too. We used to go there a
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
There's a barbecue
Cool.
place.
Your barbecue place, yeah.
Yeah, Annabelle and I used to be on their website. Like they had
I remember that.
a
Yep.
splash picture, and it was other people, but we were in the middle there eating, which I thought was kind of cool. I
Yeah,
don't
and
think
Matt
it's still up
goes
there.
there too, which is really good. You've been there with us.
Yeah. It's also by a place. That place particular, it's by a place that has really good chicken and waffles.
Oh, okay. I'm a
But,
fan of chicken and waffles.
Yeah, the Q.
That Brazilian barbecue place that you always go to.
Oh, we love that. We went there for my birthday.
Mhm.
Yep, you can't beat that place.
You ever been to Brazilian barbecue, Lexar?
No, but I'd like to try one.
Sweet Cheeks. That's the name of the place.
Oh yeah, that's the barbecue. Yep.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
I don't think our picture's up here on the site anymore. Bastards. Can you believe that, Lexar?
Bastards.
Our picture's not on the front page anymore.
Mm. They remodeled it.
Damn it. Troy's getting gonna have to go and get our picture on the.
That's it.
You ever have chicken and waffles, Lexar?
No.
It's good stuff.
It's good. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's good.
Especially with the hot honey on it. I'm a fan.
I used to run into the Green Lantern shirt guy at Ring of Honor and indie shows in New Jersey all the time. What a punchable face. Poor man.
You should have asked him what he does for a living, because how could he afford those ringside tickets these days with about $10,000 a pop and everything?
Yeah, but the Ring of Honor probably wasn't that much. Jack and I we were front row in Ring of Honor at the Plymouth Memorial Hall. I remember the Briscoe brothers almost landed on us.
They they don't do they never have wrestling there anymore.
Oh, it's a shame because it was such a great place for wrestling.
Yeah.
I think that was the same show that the crowd, they were telling Christopher Daniels that he was too old, and he got really upset. It was kind of funny.
Were they saying
They never
fallen
really
talent in him?
Like, you're too old, and he was getting all heated. Like, dude, you need thicker skin than that.
This was chicken and waffles at a place near Fenway. It's called Loretta's Last Call.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Eggs
And
are
then-
I remember you talking about that. I
Now
think,
you never
on,
afford that.
in your head. They were chanting "Fallen Talent." Christopher Daniels, "Fallen Talent." Clap, clap, clap. Fallen Talent. That's pretty funny.
It was easy to get under his skin. I don't know why. You know, for a guy that had been wrestling for like 20 years.
And then here's this is one we had at Mohegan Sun.
I like that Planet of the Apes jacket. I like that.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
sweater.
cool.
Was that the Hash House a Go-Go? That was the greatest place
Yeah,
in the world.
the sizes are just insane there.
The pancake would come out in like a giant cast iron skillet. It was amazing.
Wow,
I could go there
that's
right
huge.
now. That place is so
Yeah, I'm
good.
getting hungry now.
Yeah.
It's too bad they got rid of a lot of the good buffets at the casinos because COVID.
Mm-hmm.
At least they did around here. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's hardly any buffets at all around here anymore. We used to go to a couple different Chinese ones, and it's not. I think there's just one, and it's kind of far away, Dartmouth or whatever.
Oh, there's a good one here by my house, but I've been to a lot of them
Brazilian
in Las
Grill
Vegas.
is also a buffet, but it's a little pricey, so it's kind of like a special occasion thing.
Okay, yeah. Last time I was in Las Vegas, they had like a wristband for Caesars where you could go to like all the buffets for like $80. It was like good for like 24 hours. Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
It's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good deal.
I could go for some buffet. I'm hungry here.
Yeah, the one that was at the casino in Boston, it was like a high-end buffet, and it was all like
they
king
closed
crab legs and all
yeah.
this crazy stuff. It was amazing.
lamb and stuff. Yeah, they closed during COVID.
I think we only got there once. I think
They had one here too that had an open bar too, but it was like almost like $100. It was nice though.
One of the first chicken and waffle place I went to is called the Hen House in Boston, and it was there since the 1920s, and it closed during COVID, which is really sad. A place that was there for like 100 years closed.
Oh yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, never reopened. It was good. We were always it's in an area. We were the only white people ever there, but it was
okay.
Not that matters, but it was really good food.
That's usually when you know, like, you're at the right chicken and waffle joint.
Yeah, when I'm in Chinatown, I always try to find the places that are not only busy, but they're busy with mostly Asian people, because that's if you live there and that's where you eat, it's probably good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. That's why, like, Kaze is always good as far as hot pots go, because when we go there, we're usually the only, like, white people there,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, so this one time I was in Chinatown, I was eating somewhere and it was good, and there was a nice older Asian guy, and he was talking to me. It was kind of funny because I don't know, I was wearing a yellow shirt, and he said that yellow was like a nice color for some reason. But anyway, and he asked me what like nationality I was, and I was like, Italian and German mostly, and he's like, oh, Italian, good people. German, not so much. I just thought it was funny. And so then I was like, what's the best place to eat here? And he's like, oh, the Hong Kong, of course. And so I went to go there after he told me that the next time I was up there, and there's literally a line around the corner.
Oh, wow.
And it was all eight. I was like, holy shit. So it's a normal stop for me now when I go up there, but you have to go kind of like, because it's open early. So either before lunch or between lunch and dinner, so it's not a giant line. And so the first time I actually go in there to eat, though, so it's all the meat's in the window. It's whole ducks, racks of ribs, whole pig heads. Then they've got all the entrails underneath it, which I stay away from that. But everything was in Chinese, and I was like, I don't know how to order here. And then someone's like, oh, use the kiosk. And so the kiosk, you could put it in English or Chinese. So I put it in English. And then, so I always get it's like rice, bok choy or Chinese broccoli. And then it's like 1 meat combo is 10, 2 meat combos 11, 3 meat combos 12. So I'm like, it's kind of silly not to get the 3 meat combo for that.
Yeah, you'd be kind of crazy.
So I get like crispy duck and and barbecue pork, or there's like I get everything. I've never tried any of the innard stuff. Maybe it's good, but I can't bring myself to eat
I
all the
wouldn't
rest
try
of
that.
it.
Stick with what you know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It is great. So the old Chinese guy did not steer me wrong. It's a good place.
Cool.
Oh, I did not notice he was here. Steven from Toronto has joined us.
Hey,
Sup, Stevie?
Sorry I'm late, guys.
Son of a bitch.
No worries. You're worth the wait, Steve.
Yes. I
What's
know
up?
you missed the Monday Night Raw from London last week. So
No,
I thought I'd come
whoa.
on. Yeah.
I actually did not see it.
I thought that was
I don't know
good.
why.
I like that one.
Actually, it was better than this week, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Where
much
was it
better
from
than
this
this week.
week?
Yeah. Minneapolis, I think.
Oh.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, cool.
AWA territory.
Was Baron von Raschke there?
You should have been.
You know who wasn't
Dick
there?
Bruiser
John
and the
Cena and
Crusher.
Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
Dang.
They were all
That's
three not
crazy
there.
to me.
Who was
Yeah.
promoting the show? Ivar?
They had a Seth and Cody.
You know
I mean,
who I've
Seth
really
and
been
Punk. Seth and Punk.
You know who's really been doing the rounds lately? Because I see he's on like Jimmy Fallon is Triple H himself.
Oh, really?
Which
Oh,
that's
wow.
cool and all, but wouldn't you think like you'd send one of the wrestlers out to do all these like shows? I mean, Triple H isn't wrestling on WrestleMania.
Yeah, with WrestleMania coming
Yeah.
up, you'd think
Yeah,
so.
and you'd send, I would send like John
Send Cena
Cena.
out there. Let him do-
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cena's
Yeah,
like a big
Cody
name, or
Rhodes.
Cody or Punk.
Any of those guys, or all of those guys.
Yeah, I mean Cena would be a big name because he's also in movies.
Yeah. I guess The Rock isn't going to be at WrestleMania, they said. That's why they stopped mentioning him. They think he might not be there this year.
Man, that's really weird.
That's lame, too. Yeah.
Yeah, they did the big heel.
What are
turn,
you
and
doing
he's-
that's
and then-
more important, Rock? Be at WrestleMania. You fucking asshole.
Yeah, and he gets paid like $30 million or something. And last WrestleMania was like they set up for something to happen at the next WrestleMania. Then he's not even. Everyone assumed he was going to wrestle either Reigns or Cody, and then he's not going to wrestle. But then it'd be really lame if he's not even there.
Yeah.
Then he did that the show there when he said that not all stories have to be wrestling. You know, however he worded it. What a
Something.
loser.
Maybe
Wasn't
that's
that
why
something
the
like Russo
Minecraft
said?
movie was such a big hit.
They're
Because Rock wasn't in it.
That's a Russo said, like something Russo said. Heels and baby faces are passe. That's a thing of the past, bro.
Well, yeah. Well, I remember when the AEW guys were saying that Cody and the young guns, the young bucks, and people were like losing their mind. And then Rock says it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's fine.
And then it's gospel.
We need after our 2 hours, a 2-hour wait, let's get to the Raw report.
No fucking history. Damn, fucking Incher. Well, he's not here to
He's not
interrupt.
even here.
Oh, fucking Incher this week.
Still fucking Incher. Lexar's gonna go tattletale on me. He's like, Lexar,
Oh,
Incher, did you hear what Jack said about you?
on the horn right now.
All right, let's get to this Raw report.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said it. Jack said it.
The build for this WrestleMania, I mean, like, I don't know. So Monday Night Raw comes to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, AWA territory, but there's no Baron von Raschke, unfortunately. So
If they did an invasion, AWA invasion, who could they get? It would be a bet.
Rush Blackwell.
I think
Hulk Hogan.
Marty Jannetty.
yeah, Marty
Jannetty.
Jannetty,
All right.
Baron
Greg
von
Gagne.
Raschke, Greg
Greg
Gagne.
Gagne, yeah. All right.
Who's
Is
still alive
Milkman
from
is the
AWA?
Milkman still alive?
Oh my God, Jake Miller.
Oh,
I
man.
forgot about him. He was awesome.
Jake's still alive.
Yeah, and Rock and Roll Buck Zumoff.
Have him released from jail first, and then like put him in there.
How is
Nails
he on Dark
Benjamin.
Side of the Ring?
North the
That would be-
Barbarian.
Would that be a good tag team? Nails and Rock and Roll Buck Zumoff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nails was an AWA.
Yeah, he was. That's true. Yeah, Nord the Barbarian.
No, yeah, Nord was there. He's still alive.
Larry Zabisco.
Oh, there we go. That's a
Larry
good
was
one.
the champion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that.
Hanson.
Yeah, so yeah, Larry Hansen. If you wanted a real group, it would be Larry Zabisco, Stan Hansen, Greg Gagne, and Baron Von Raschke. You throw Jannetty in there too. Jannetty would have to take all the bumps. He's probably the only guy who can still take a bump.
Obviously, Shawn Michaels.
He's going to be the bump machine of the team. All right. I think Doug Summers passed away.
Did he?
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, we had talked to Doug Summers at one of the fan fests. We were going to get him on the show. And then yeah, I'm pretty sure he passed away.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it was like right after who was his partner?
I think
Playboy
Buddy
Buddy
Landell actually may have. I don't know. Both of them are passed away though. Oh, and Colonel De Beers passed away not too long ago.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
Here.
He
I
was
was
so
wondering-
great. I thought De Beers was just like
Yeah, I don't think he gets enough credit today.
Yeah.
I think because people shy away from the gimmick, obviously. But all right.
and Sergeant Slaughter too.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even think of Sergeant Slaughter. He could probably still take bumps.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of dead people,
Why wouldn't we?
I just want to say, I mean, I posted this. Rest in. I know you guys don't talk about other podcasters, but rest in peace, Kevin Castle. I used to listen.
That is.
I used to listen to him and Don Tony on their show, and Kevin was. I mean, Don Tony is hard to take, but
Yes.
Kevin Castle, sort of the.
What
the
show are
balance-
they
What other? I almost want to say
No,
the
rest
better
in peace.
guy.
I'm not sure who that is, but rest in peace. That's too bad. How old was he?
I don't know how old he was, but he didn't seem like he didn't seem like an old guy. Like he's, yeah. But I mean, I just wanted to mention that.
What show was it?
Yeah. The Don Tony and Kevin Castle show.
Oh.
Yeah. Monday Night Raw comes to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We get the usual pre-show arrivals, and there was a lot of Adam Pearce on this show. He starts off the show. He's in the ring, and it's for the Women's World Championship. And he makes these introductions to the three participants: Bianca Belair, Io Sky, and for some bizarre reason, he introduces, representing the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley. And even the announcers pointed out that he made a mistake with his announcement. This was really, this was bizarre. Like, how long has Rhea Ripley been out of the Judgment Day? And
Over a year, I think. Right?
Yes, Pierce makes one big blunder. I don't know, but so he brings all these three women into the ring, and he basically says he's got a right or wrong here. Says Io Sky will defend the Women's World Championship against Bianca Belair, and he just announces and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. And I thought, oh, there's that. Is that Adam Pearce?
It is Adam Pearce.
I thought this is a roundabout way to get to the end. Like, why? Like, Rhea Ripley first loses to Io Sky, and then you think it's a one-on-one match, and then Pearce just announces, "I'm gonna put her in the match anyway," even though he said that when they tried to do the contract signing before and Rhea Ripley stole the contract and put her name on it, he said, that contract doesn't mean anything. And yet he just announces this week, well, now she's in the match. Like, what?
Sounds like a Three Stooges skit.
So anyway, they go through the same thing over and over again. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair get in, try to get in each other's face. Meanwhile, they just push Io Sky out of the way. So Io gets out of the ring, and you think she's going to leave, but no, she just jumps on the top turnbuckle, flies through the air, and delivers a double drop kick to take out both of the women. And she's the last person standing this week, holding up her title. And at least the crowd is really getting into Io Sky. I'll give them that credit. They really built her up pretty good. But I still think Rhea Ripley's going to win the match. So
I agree.
I hope she does, honestly.
Yeah. So we get a video of last week on
I think he froze.
Yeah. What happened here? Is someone trying? Is Adam Pearce trying to take Steven out?
I think he is. Fucking enter.
Yeah. So they're trying to build tension in the Judgment Day. Finally, I forget how long it took. I wasn't watching. We get a Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Lyra Valkyria defends the title against Bayley. This one went a long time, but I was very impressed with this match. The two girls really had a great back and forth. Bayley working her ass off to make Lyra look good.
It's a good match, yeah.
Yeah. But I really think, like the right woman won. Like Lyra defended her title. Bayley went for the rose plant, but Lyra turned it around and pinned her. And I thought this was really good. Like Lyra looked good, and Bayley really, like I said, she worked hard putting her over. And they kind of when Lyra tried to go for a handshake or something at the end, and then Bayley teased not doing it, and then she left the ring and then got back in and raised Lyra's hand. Crowd was really into this. We get another so-called celebrity, everyone's favorite backstage interviewer. The very sexy Kathy Kelly is with some guy called Bert Kreischer.
Are you jealous? You're like, what is he doing to my woman?
Why?
Unfunny comedian. Netflix advertisement.
Oh, that fucking guy. I used to get nonstop ads for him on my Facebook.
Oh my god!
Just think he's funny because he takes
he's
his
doing
shirt
like
off.
7 or 8 Netflix specials. How come they sign these guys for like 7 or 8 specials when they sign them for like 1 or 2 and then see how they do?
They just bore you to death.
That's like The Machine made that movie. The Machine.
Very good.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Fortunately,
Ludite loves him.
Fortunately, Chad Gable and American Made come in to interrupt right away. And
American males.
I'd love that if they use that entrance music.
I would too.
Yeah, I'd be all over that.
But Chad Gable announces, Minnesota came to see him, but they'll get to see the Creed brothers team up with El Grande de Maracano to take on the LWO. So there's a 6-man tag team match coming up. Coming back from the commercial break, a woman named Jackie is interviewing AJ Styles, and AJ cuts another boring babyface promo. I think AJ's best promos are when he's a heel, but as a baby face. Yawn. So, so we get
who's Styles facing at WrestleMania?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Oh God.
So we get another run in from Mr. Backstage segment himself, Karrion Kross. Once again he sort of interrupts AJ's promo, and AJ's finally had it with this. So he says he's going to talk to Pierce and try and get a match. My God, they're going to get a match with Karrion Kross next week. So we could actually see Karrion Kross actually, after months and months and months of backstage segments and interrupting other people's interviews, Karrion Kross might actually wrestle on Monday Night Raw next week. 6-man tag team match, the LWO, Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro with Rey Mysterio at ringside taking on American Made, Brutus and Julius Creed, and their tag team partner, the greatest luchador that ever lived, El Grande de Americano. So they have a great 6-man tag team match. You got the luchadors, the LWO guys flying all over the ring. At one point, they did one where all three were on the outside near the rampway, and all three guys just flew over the top rope and took out the heels. That was a pretty good spot. But in the end, it was, I believe it was El Grande de Americano. Yes. So El Grande de Americano did the old heel spot with masked wrestlers. I once saw the Masked Assassin do this, where Ivy Nile had some little foreign object, and he put it in El Grande Americano, put it in his mask. And then Rey Mysterio saw this and tried to point this out, but El Grande gave him a headbutt and knocked him off the ring apron. And then he did a flying headbutt on one of the baby faces, and I think it was Dragon Lee, and pinned him. So the winners of the match, El Grande Americano and American Made, they go up the ring and celebrate while Rey Mysterio is complaining to the referee, and the other guys are checking on Dragon Lee. We get another backstage segment. I think it was just World Heavyweight Champion Gunther smiling. Coming back from the commercial break, Gunther comes out and he talks about beating up Jey Uso. Jey Uso takes his time coming down to the ring, and once Jey Uso gets in the ring, they have another face-to-face about how Gunther bloodied up Jimmy Uso. They had this great segment where Jay was tied to the ring, and Gunther just bloodied up Jimmy right in front of Jay.
I love that segment. That was great to see blood on Raw too.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was and
a lot of
that
blood.
was blood, by the way.
I was very surprised to see that. Yeah.
So there was a SmackDown recap. I watched SmackDown this week, and I actually watched this segment. Actually, they had this was supposed to be the main event segment. Everybody was talking about this segment with CM Punk choosing Paul Heyman, finally revealing what the favor was, which is he wants Paul Heyman in his corner at WrestleMania when he takes on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. But I don't know, if you guys were talking about this. Coming out of SmackDown, I have a question for the ladies of the Headyverse. Is Ludwig Kaiser on your DMs? Because he's on Charlotte's DMs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nothing against Charlotte, but I mean, if you were with the other girl, would you really be all up in Charlotte's DM?
You want to show her the Kaiser roll.
Can
So
you introduce
Charlotte,
me to your dad?
yeah. So apparently on SmackDown, let's just have a SmackDown recap here. So apparently, they're saying that that Tiffany went off script when Charlotte with Charlotte and started to mention
She's 3-0.
Charlotte's marriages.
Divorce.
What are you, 0-3? You're 0-3. And
She called her
so
Nepo
Charlotte,
baby too.
yeah, she called her a Nepo baby and said, Charlotte comes back and says, then why is Ludwig on my DMs? And
She got out of the ring right after that too. Like when Charlotte walked
yeah,
up to her, she got out.
I think she was smart enough to do that just in case Charlotte might lose her cool. But
She couldn't even talk though. The crowd was booing her so much.
that was a pretty loud reaction. Like this was another failure. Like Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble has been a blunder right from the beginning. And
yeah, I agree.
But that's what the following Saturday, the weekend, that's all I saw on social media was everybody was talking about this segment instead of the one that CM Punk, she was finally revealing the favor, which I guess should have been what everybody was talking about. We get another segment. We get another segment inside the Raw general manager's office with Adam Pearce. He's visited by Maxine Dupree and Natalia. And briefly, then Rey Mysterio comes in, and I think he wants a match with Grande Americano. We get another tag team match, the New Day, Kofi Kingston challenging the War Raiders for the tag team titles. This one ended in a disqualification. I think one of the New Day guys attacked one of the War Raiders with a chair. Ended, and then the New Day were beating up the War Raiders. So then, coming back from the commercial break, I think we had there was another nobody in the arena. I don't know.
Someone with a Netflix show.
Yes. I have no idea who any of these people are. Anyway, Penta took on Dirty Dominic Mysterio with Carlito at ringside.
Dirty Dom, done dirt cheap.
So, Penta
Eat
won
your
this
heart out,
one.
AC/DC.
Penta won this one, so he's as a singles wrestler, he's still undefeated. He beats Dirty Dom, but then immediately Carlito comes into the ring, and Carlito starts beating up on Penta. When Braun Breaker comes down the ring to make the save, and he just spears the you-know-what out of Carlito.
It's a pretty sweet spear.
Yeah. Carlito is pretty good at selling the spear. And then I think Finn Balor got Braun Breaker. And so this was promoting the four-way coming up. We get another backstage segment is Paul Heyman is arriving. And then Paul Heyman comes into the ring after the commercial break. Paul Heyman, again, a lot of talking. The wrestling was good, but there was hardly any of it in this on this show. Another talking segment, Paul Heyman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I want to state a couple of things for the record so we can just get it out of the way and move on to WrestleMania. He says, I will be loyal to my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. The second thing is, I will be loyal to my best friend in the world, CM Punk. So, but just because I'm loyal doesn't mean that he will ever be disloyal to them. When it comes to WrestleMania, let's make one thing perfectly clear. And then before he can continue, out comes Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins comes into the ring, and he says, tonight it's not about Rollins, it's about Paul Heyman. He puts over Paul Heyman talking about loyalty. And so then it looks like I guess Rollins teases he's going to attack Paul Heyman when CM Punk comes down to the ring, and they get into it. And at first Punk gets the upper hand, but then I think Rollins stomped Punk, and then he teased stomping Heyman, but instead he just kneels down to him and says, now you owe me a favor. So that's how that segment ended. And unfortunately, that was the main event segment, was a talking segment in which Rollins basically stomps Punk and says, now you owe me a favor. Believe me, and I'll tell you without unquestionably, this show, thumbs down.
Pathetic. Second to last Raw before WrestleMania. Totally. John Cena's not there. Cody Rhodes is not there. Roman Reigns is not there. This is something you get in like October, like, I don't know, July or something. Not the lead up to WrestleMania. Piss poor show.
Wow. I don't know. Like, there was I should have had this ready to go, but maybe for next week with the go home shows, you could look at the card for WrestleMania. You know, other than the main events, the three-way, they'll probably close night one, Punk, Rollins, and Reigns, and then Cody versus John Cena close night two. The rest of it,
lackluster, very lackluster.
Yes, absolutely. So that was your Raw report.
Well, they better bring it next week then.
Yeah.
You think
we're on the road to WrestleMania?
Hopefully Cena or Cody show up for work.
Well, that'd be nice. They think you'd go all out for the final go home show next week.
Maybe that's a problem with not having, like a normal pay-per-view where you've got to get people excited to buy the pay-per-view.
That is true.
Yeah. They just rely on the name.
You don't rely on pay-per-view buys anymore. It's just people just buy WrestleMania. But besides that, even their regular pay-per-views, they're just on, they're on Peacock. So it's not like the card is really that important anymore.
Yeah, so people don't really have to get terribly excited, and it doesn't sound like they should.
So here's the matches. We got Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
All right, who the hell is this guy? Who is El Grande Americano?
Chad Gable.
It's Shorty G.
Yeah, Shorty G.
Remember in Memphis, Austin Idol was one time the big house?
Braun Breaker defending the Intercontinental Belt versus Penta versus Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. I actually think that should be a good match.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah. I'd like to see Penta take it, honestly. I like Braun Breaker. Anyone but Finn Balor, actually.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I have no interest in that. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending the tag belt in a gauntlet match.
I didn't know they were the champion.
I didn't know there was women's tag teams.
I'm making a point never to actually see Raquel Rodriguez and just sticking with her name alone. And I get a little Lexar when Steven talks about it.
Mm-hmm. LA Knight defending the U.S. Championship versus Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu beat Braun Strowman in a last man standing match to qualify for a title match.
I like Jacob Fatu, but it seems like
Is Nakamura done with WWE already?
I believe so.
I don't know.
I don't think he's technically done, but he's not on this show.
Yeah.
AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I don't care about that. It'll probably be like a good match, but I don't care about it. Io Sky defending
Yeah.
the women's title versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. I mean, honestly, they just threw the belt on Io Sky just to get her on that show. I mean, it seems just odd. I think Rhea Ripley just a singles match would be better. Gunther defending the belt versus Jey Uso. I mean,
That
this
should be
is
a
getting,
good one.
yeah, I think it'll be really good. I actually like both guys, but it's getting kind of buried since it's not going to be even the main event.
Yeah, that's just sad.
Tiffany Stratton defending the women's title versus Charlotte Flair.
Is she any good? Is Tiffany Stratton
really
any
know
good?
who
I
she is,
don't think
to be
I've seen
honest.
her.
She's okay. I haven't seen that much of her.
All right.
Cody Rhodes versus Cena for the undisputed title. You can't have the undisputed title when you have the world championship also on the same show. It's just it's ridiculous. Roman Reigns versus Punk versus Seth Rollins in a triple threat. That'll main event night one. This really, I get that they're the three like top guys, whatever, but it's just weird to me that that's the main event when you have Gunther versus Jey
They could
Uso.
change it and give custody of Paul Heyman.
Yeah, or at least it should be like the winner gets a title match or something. Why are they even wrestling, really?
Yeah.
I read somewhere online that Randy Orton's going to wrestle Nick Aldis now that Kevin Owens out.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is out.
Oh yes, and Kevin Owens is all SmackDown. Kevin Owens came out and basically announced he has to get neck surgery, so he's not going to be at WrestleMania. But I also heard that it could be like what's his name, Aleister Black could be coming back.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather have him than
Versus Mystery Iconic.
Nick
Aldis.
Yeah.
He puts me to sleep, that guy.
It is weird that Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are like the general managers, and neither of them like WWE ever saw like good enough to actually wrestle on the show. But
yeah.
Well, that's WrestleMania. It really like all the. I don't think like most of the matches like they'll all be fine, but I mean, really, in modern day, like there's really nobody like that has bad matches, really. So I mean, that doesn't really mean much of anything if the matches are fine. But
there's no like sexy matches. There's no like.
It's nothing to get excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cena heel turn had everyone excited, but it's not been very exciting since then.
Because he hasn't been on the show. Like, wasn't he?
He's been on there
supposed
like
to be
2-3 times.
And it was just always talking about
He's supposed to be on like every week or something. Like,
it was like his big.
I guess they lied about that.
The ultimate heel move, they'll do a heel turn and everyone's been waiting for him and nothing exciting about it.
And when he is on the show, all he does is cut a promo with Cody Rhodes. I think finally
that first
Cody
one was like
him,
45 minutes too.
Yeah, finally Cody gave him a crossroads. They finally had some sort of interaction building to Mania, which suggested to me is Cena going over Mania and winning the title. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, he took a
17th.
He took a cheap shot at Tony Khan too.
How long has Cody had the belt now? Like a year?
A year.
Huh?
Yeah.
Lexart's just wanting to see the weekend.
That'd be my highlight, I think.
At the After Dark concert series.
I will give them credit. They did do a good promo last week at Raw in London, Cody and Cena. I thought that was pretty good.
All right.
Cody told Cena that this crowd never chanted, "You can't wrestle" at me. That's good.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week talking about the wrestling. Since next week's the last Raw before WrestleMania, I may do a live watch along. We'll see how that goes. If people would like to come,
that'd probably be fun.
Send me in some super chats.
If I watch it, it'll be the first Raw I've seen in probably 5 years.
Damn. All right, I'm gonna set a goal for super chats on that, and if we meet the goal, maybe I'll do it every week. We'll see. We did do a watch along for a pay-per-view a couple like last month. It was pretty fun, honestly.
Was it?
Yeah. Because I just set it up on the multiple screens here and watch a show. But my internet's not been working too good, so
Does the pay-per-view show up on Netflix too, or oh?
What was that?
Does the pay-per-view show up on Netflix?
No, the pay-per-views are on Peacock. But you're in Canada, they might be on Netflix. I'm not sure how that
they're
works.
in Canada. They're on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys up in the 51st state can watch them on Netflix.
Fighting words, dude.
You know, I'm just messing.
M's fighting words, Jack.
All right, so we're gonna head on out of here. Any parting words from any pals, amigos here? Michael, what are your last words?
Well, thanks for having me on. I always enjoy being on here. Oh yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. I always enjoy being on here. I like Dynasty. I thought it was a good show this weekend.
Very good. It's always good to have you here, Michael. We like you.
Thank you.
Terrible
Thank
one.
you,
Do you have any
guys.
parting words?
Thanks for having me on, Jack. It was a lot of fun. It was fun talking about the pay-per-view and just seeing all you crazy bastards.
Anytime. Stevie, any last words?
Well, I hate to return to the theme of death, but rest in peace, Val Kilmer. He also passed away this week, and I think the last on-screen appearance he did was when he returned to Top Gun Maverick. But I thought the greatest performance he ever did was in Tombstone.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
You said earlier.
Yep. But we also loved him in a bunch of stuff, including Willow.
Yeah, someone here liked
which
him
is
in
Michael's.
Yes,
movie
I need to watch that.
now. Yep.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Warwick Davis is in it too.
Mm-hmm. Vicca Schiavone. What's your last words?
Well, it's good to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Yes,
And
indeed.
If you did the super chat, you would probably make Raw bearable to watch.
Nice. Do it up. The mighty Lexar. What are your last words, final words here for you?
After a 2-week break, you guys came back strong with the Dynamite review or Dynasty review. Dynamite review is probably next week. Probably you might go to Dynamite. You guys.
Oh, yeah, Troy and I will look into that. We might go to Dynamite next week. That's a good idea.
Head in your neck of the woods in Boston.
Yeah,
so I cannot wait. Can't wait for Dynamite tomorrow. The fallout from Dynasty.
Yeah.
What's their next pay per view? Double or Nothing. That's their next pay per view.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it
Double or Nothing?
Double or Nothing. In Phoenix.
Good man. Luddite.
This tastes like almonds.
Tastes like almonds. I like almonds.
I do too.
I'm getting kind of hungry. We were talking about food earlier, so I'm gonna go get.
Make
I have a
some chicken and
rotisserie
waffles.
chicken upstairs.
Chicken waffles.
Yeah.
Biscuits and gravy.
You know what? Biscuits and gravy. I love the song, but fuck that song. Spotify. They sent me a bunch of but they sent me all these flags of like all the Spotify shows that whenever we played Biscuits of all songs, all the shows where we played Biscuits and Gravy were flagged. Wow. So they're all taken off Spotify for Biscuits and Gravy. Jim Johnston is out there flagging in your head. It's from him. He's saying you can't play Biscuits and Gravy. I own this song. What the hell? That's his claim to fame. He owns Biscuits and Gravy.
He owns playing a song too. Playing a song too.
On that one.
Yeah, it's not like I'm selling the song. We played it on the show. So fuck Jim Johnston and fuck Biscuits and Gravy. And especially fuck the Good Brothers because they're connected to that song and I can't stand those guys.
Well, it's just Festus, not
yeah, but he's guilty by association. That's how. All right. See you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, see ya. Good night.
Andre
Andre the Giant. Andre was big, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was not small, no, no, no. Andre could drink and he could fight. Drink, 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 and a fight, fight, fight. Andre was big, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was not small, no, no, no. Andre could drink and he could fight. Drink, 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 and a fight, fight, fight. Andre the Giant. Andre was big, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was not small, no, no, no. Andre was great, he was not bad. A great big heart and a great big man. Andre was big, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was not small, no, no, no. Andre could drink and he could fight. Drink, 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 and a fight, fight, fight. Andre the Giant.
From Grenoble, France.